Peterborough Patriots versus the Charlestown Chiefs. Brought to you by Sheehan's Rust Roofing. The Chiefs have just come out on the ice for a warm-up period. They're about to try for their 5th consecutive win. They're getting a good round of applause from their own booster club, who have traveled all the way from Charlestown to be here in Peterborough tonight.
Stop doing those diet or workout fads to lose weight. Use the tried and true approach from Rockin' That Ideal Life that helps you find balance while enjoying food in moderation and nourishing your body. Try the Lean 30 program at rockinthatIdealLife.com and let today be your last first day of your weight loss journey.
When buying or selling your home, you need to feel protected. Realtor Mike Burgoyne not only looks out for your interests, but as a St. Louis area police officer will make sure you feel safe and well-informed with every decision. Email Mike at strikewithmike.com and start the process today. That's Mike at strikewithmike.com.
Welcome to episode 14 of season 13. This is episode number 445, all time of the often imitated, never duplicated. The Tribe has spoken. We're the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Let's Go Blues Radio. Special thanks to our sponsors, RockinThatIdealLife.com and Realtor Mike Burgoyne. For once again, proudly sponsoring the show. Please check them out. Also, please don't forget to check out the t-shirt shop at letsgoblues.com for the very best St. Louis Blues themed t-shirts at an unbelievably fair price. It is Wednesday, January 10th, and we're streaming live right now on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Friendster, OnlyFans, you name it. We're on it.
Heck yes.
To interact with the show on social media, our handle on all the socials is at LGB Radio. I am Kurt Price. I'm my co-host for the big show tonight are Bill Day and Jeff Ponder. Producer Austin is lurking in the weeds, pulling the strings. So if anything bad happens on the show, a commercial randomly pops up for no reason. Yeah, that's who to blame.
Yeah, this is a first show in a while where nobody's facing the allegations.
Whoa, that's true. Except maybe Kevin Hayes.
True. And here, let me put up the template over the. There we go. Since blame Austin again.
That was my fault. I'll actually take blame there. I turned it off because we were all talking before the show.
The agenda for tonight includes discussion of boots. Kevin Hayes is wrongfully attacked online by some Philly assholes. We'll talk about that.
Friends of the show.
Friends of the show attack Kevin Hayes. A 2-1 win versus the Hurricanes. A 5-1 loss versus the Panthers. Team USA wins gold to the Real Juniors and more on this episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. Gentlemen, what's up?
Yo.
What is happening?
Well, as I told you guys, I got some good news tonight. I was basically cleared by my physical therapist to return to hockey. So I have not played since September, and it's been rough. Mostly rough because I couldn't do anything cardio-wise. So, I'll admit I've put on 5 pounds. I thought I was going to put on 15 or 20, which is good that I didn't go that far.
Because you just can't help yourself.
No, I can't, honestly. Holiday season, you guys know, you sit around and eat candy and cookies, and it's fuck, man, I'm not going to be able to move for all of the holidays, including Thanksgiving and eating all that turkey. So, yeah, I'm very happy to be getting, there you go. Yeah, there's something that pairs really well with my fear of the show. There you go. Yeah, no, I do not keep candy anywhere in here, because this is my office when I work. I know if I have candy down here, I would have put on those 15, 20 pounds. So I'm very happy to be back. I'll be back playing this weekend. So I'm very excited.
Well, congratulations. Good news for you and bad news for the shins of the opposing forwards who are trying to block your shots.
I was going to say, bad news for all of my teams. Damn it, Ponder's back.
Oh, it was a good run. We had a good run.
I will say my Sunday afternoon roller team, we have never won anything before, and we've been playing together probably 8-9 years. Of course, it was like my third week out. They won the fucking championship. And I'm like, you assholes.
Do you know what you are? You're Eric Brewer.
Yeah.
because the only year the Blues made the playoffs when he was here was the season he was out the entire season.
And then he got traded, and the next year they made the playoffs every year until 2018.
Yeah.
So
there you
you're
go.
right. I'm Eric Brewer. I'm going to change my number to 4.
Very
I am
nice.
the captain of my ice team, so it actually does fit.
Yeah. Did you play well for
Are
Canada,
you
though?
good in the locker room?
I'm great in the locker room. Are you kidding me? I'm the best in the locker room.
Ooh.
I give thigh rubs and everything.
Nobody's better in the locker room than you.
No, I'm the absolute best. There's nobody else. Nobody's better than me in the locker room. I have all about the locker room talk.
You are ridiculously not orange to be talking like that.
Right.
Yeah, you're way too not orange for that.
I'm yeah, you know what? I'll go tan for 50 years.
There's no one in the chat right now. How is this possible? People are watching. There we go.
There you go. Blue Note fan
go.
report.
Hey,
Whoa,
Guy Bensing with a
Ooh.
just saying hi. You're
Guy.
still living?
I love that I can actually say this and it actually is his name. Oh, hey, Guy.
Hey, Guy.
But
Guy Bensing, for those who don't know, runs a blues show on YouTube. I live after every show, I believe. After every blues
game,
I believe. Yeah. On YouTube. So
I've seen him live and during games as well. So
during game, yeah, occasionally, yeah. He doesn't have it on screen, but he talks along. I've seen that too. Yeah.
Yep.
So welcome, Guy. Gee. You know, if you're a hockey fan, your name Guy, you really need to go by Gee.
Oh, 100%. You know that when he's been to a game and somebody's been like, "Hey, what's your name?" "Oh, I'm Guy." "No, you're Gee."
No, you're Gee. Which I went to school when I was in grade school with a guy named Guy.
Me too.
And it was my first experience with someone with that name. So as a kid in 3rd grade, I'm thinking, your name's Guy. And let's be honest, as a 3rd grader, I'm thinking, well, that's strange. Right?
Yep.
A guy named Guy. So
I knew a guy. I went to school with a guy named Guy Sargent, and I remember just thinking, like, you sound like you're a civilian who suddenly joined the military. I am Guy Sargent.
Guy Sargent. Guy says, or Guy says, we'll call him Guy, right? It's a hockey show.
Guy, yeah, there you go.
I'm alive from the beginning of game until after the game.
I think he means live.
Right, I know. What? Well, I'm glad he's alive.
We all are.
Yeah.
But Kirk did specifically ask if he was alive.
I did, didn't I?
That's true. You did.
Yeah. You're still living.
He's live and alive.
Yeah. Long time no talk, Guy.
Yeah. Been a while. Good to hear from you, man.
We are blank on announcements. Is that right for the show? Nothing. No announcements. Well, let's say this. Played in a pickleball tournament 2 weekends ago. In St. Louis. A big one. And took 3rd place. My partner and I. Bronze medal.
And his partner has treated my dog in the past. So
my partner.
There's that.
Yeah. Nathan Jergina. He's a veterinarian on this side of the river. So yeah.
When you say partner, do you mean partner or do you mean partner?
He means partner.
I mean pickleball partner, you weirdo.
Okay. Sorry. I get him confused.
Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. I know the way your brain works, and I should have expected that.
Austin just added, which I'll admit, it's kind of surprising that our YouTube followers are not higher. Because we do get a fair amount of views for the shows, and obviously, our podcast audience is awesome and they're huge, but I guess they just don't follow us on YouTube. Austin just added in our announcements, we hit 600 YouTube subscribers.
Yay.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Timing. So, and I've always that's always kind of puzzled me a little bit, because the vast majority of our listens or interaction with it is on the podcast side of it. not so much the YouTube side. So I've always found that strange because I really do enjoy, YouTube shows. I'd rather watch us than listen to us personally. So
Yeah, I mean, because we're banging hot.
yeah, and
I watched myself the whole show, and I'm just like, God, look at this guy.
I know, and people just I've been told that we're just nice to look at. I was told that people enjoy. This is a true story. I was told that people enjoy looking at me when I was on 198, the radio, a long time ago. Morning show, Phillips and Company on 198. Yeah. So long story. I'd rather not get into it, but I was on the 198 morning show one morning in the studio.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. And Guy Phillips says, "Well, we enjoy looking at you." So there you go.
That's fantastic.
From the mouth of Guy Phillips himself.
I've always been told that. Oh, is it Guy Phillips? Sorry.
It is Guy Phillips. It's Guy Phillips.
Yeah, Guy Phillips. That's awesome, man.
No, I've always been told that because women either find me irresistible or just downright hideous, and so I've always been told that
what's the ratio with that?
Oh, it's probably 1 to 17,000.
Okay,
but
I've always found that one.
It's because I did find the one. She's upstairs. I've always been told that I have a very mysterious look about me, and that is apparently a turn on for women. So this is why people like Amy watch the show. Sorry, Kurt.
No, I was like,
this is why you need to go full on Laszlo Cravensworth.
Yes.
Mysterious one.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
All right. Our beers of the official beers of episode number 445. You can follow each of us on the Untapped app. My handle is CPrice12. Jeff's is JPonder 94. Bill's is Billy Blue Note 33. And where we go?
First.
I'm first.
You first.
Yep, I'm first. But, okay. Because I mean, the Blues play has been generally very good lately, except for last game. But so we'll go with that. I've got the Four Hands Imperial Hot Chocolate Milk Stout. Have I had this on before?
Yes.
I did? I thought I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I grabbed it thinking I hadn't, and then I poured it, and I'm like, wait a second. I've had this before. So having it again. It's good. I like it. And on a cold night outside, I don't think so.
It is a good one. I like it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to either go this or the candy bar stout. I haven't done one of the candy bar stouts. And I also have one of the Voltron IPAs haven't done yet. So
yeah, that would not have been a good choice tonight.
No. Well, it's an IPA. So is it ever really a great choice?
No.
There are better options.
Yeah.
Always.
This time of year, especially.
I still need to track down Black Lion.
Well, Black Lion. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, you can go to the brewery, and get it.
Yeah,
it's on draft and available in a can. You can buy all three in cans still at the brewery.
I don't go to the office tomorrow, but I do have business on the other side of the river, and would be coming up 44 in the evening time. Maybe I'll pop in there and grab some.
I'll tell you what. If you
buy
a 4-pack,
going off? Well, you don't have to answer this, but
how far are you
going? How far are you going down 44?
Already far.
To where?
Sunset Hills. Gotta take the car to the dealer.
That's where I got my car.
That's
Sunset Ford?
No. Sunset Hills Subaru.
Oh.
That's Sunset Hills is where my pickleball tournament was at Veta Sports over there.
Nice.
God, Kurt, we don't fucking care.
Oh, because you're gonna hear about it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put it in the notes here. First item on the agenda once we start talking hockey is pickleball.
Bill, go ahead.
Kurt's Pickleball Minute.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It is now a pickleball show, people.
All right. So my turn. I am sticking with the series that I started last week. I had the Ginger Snap Surly Imperial Stout. Really, really good. This week I'm going with the Raspberry Chocolate Torts.
Wow. That sounds good.
Oh, it's actually amazing. I'm not usually a huge fan of berries and stout together, but this is like they got the mix right, and just
Is it a
really good.
Is it a tortorella tort? Because we're
It
going to
is.
try and mention
I was
his
gonna make
name
the same
tonight.
joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good segue. We can skip Jeff's beer now.
Hey, fuck you.
Right.
What if my
it's probably
if my
it's
beer-
probably a contact high.
What if my beer had something to do with pickleball? Kurt would really want to know that.
Yeah, I really would. I told Amy that I enjoy playing pickleball every bit as much as I used to enjoy playing hockey when I played hockey.
Wow, that's
full-time.
That's
Yeah.
high praise.
It's one of those things I say it's true. It's like, you play it and you get addicted to it, and I am.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, my beer tonight is a show favorite. We've had it many times. Peanut butter chocolate milk stout, Absence of Light. And we were just talking before the show that the variation, I guess, built on top of that was the Fat Elvis. And I have not found that anywhere, but apparently it's on the Illinois side. So
Is
I
it?
might have to make a travel over there this weekend if it's,
It's not-
not too terrible.
It's not at Four Hands?
No, I went over Christmas break, and they said, yeah, we sold out within days.
And are they getting more?
No, they said they're done brewing them.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yikes. That's good beer.
I have spotted it in I'm pretty sure it was Total Wine, and Randall's in Fairview. So
I might try to make a trip out there. If you
I'll-
don't, I will.
yeah, I'll let you know if I can't find it tomorrow.
Okay.
They've got cans of these 3 Voltron variants, IPA variants, right? That they've just available to buy still, but they sell out of the Fat Elvis right away. It's like, I don't know. Maybe they did it on purpose for some reason, but it was very popular last year. I would imagine that they would have made a lot of that.
From what I gathered from the bartender I spoke with at Four Hands, they did up production quite a bit this year, and it's still sold out. So I would imagine that means next year they'll up it again even more.
It's really good.
is.
I love it. I like it more than the Absence of Light myself, which was my favorite winter beer for a few years.
Oh my God! Oh, I knew she watches the show for me, and now she's basically inviting me over. More That Girl says I have 2 cans in my fridge for the right price. Ponder. Oh, I will be sending you a text that Kurt will not see later.
She knows better than to word that way.
No,
That is just asking for it. What are you doing?
Setting me up on purpose. Come
Oh
on.
my God, for the right price. Oh, we're gonna talk later.
This is why I love Amy. She's the best. That was like what do you call it? Well, I guess you can't really set people in pickleball, but she was setting me, and then I just slammed it home like in volleyball. Let's move on with the show.
You think so? All right. I guess. Are we done?
We're done.
So Blues forward Kevin Hayes was slightly under fire in Flyers media. The Flyers 5th overall pick in 2023. Cutter Gauthier, is that his name? Gauthier requested a trade, and rumors are that circling that it was partially because Hayes told him horror stories about playing in Philadelphia. Gauthier traded to the Ducks, then traded to the Ducks in exchange for a 21-year-old defenseman Jamie Drysdale and a 2025 second-round pick.
So very quick side note here. Did you see what Trevor Zegras said about the trade?
No.
Because I guess his road buddy, the person he rooms with, was Jamie Drysdale, and they asked him, what's it like losing him, and he said, "Man, it's weird. We sleep together, we pee together."
Yeah,
and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Kevin Hayes.
Yeah, no, Philadelphia got a good player, but the Flyers, wanted to give Gauthier time and space in case he changed his mind. But every time they tried to engage with him during the World Juniors, this is happening. He turned a cold shoulder. Last straw came at the World Junior Championships when he refused to meet with Keith Jones and Danny Briere, who flew to Sweden for the event, which is interesting because apparently before the draft, he was all gung-ho about being a Flyer.
He basically said, I'm built to be a Philadelphia Flyer.
Yeah.
I think that was the exact words.
But now he's done it about face. So the thought was that Kevin Hayes talked to him.
Well, the rumor started circulating because friend of the show, Anthony Sanfilippo of Crossing Broad, who we had on, what summer was that? 2019. We did the Behind Enemy Lines series where we talked to somebody from every other team. And yeah, he was on for the Flyers talk. And this comes straight from him. You want me to read the quote?
Yeah,
here?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. One of the articles he wrote. He said, multiple sources have told me that Hayes was very influential with Gauthier, and 3 of them indicated that Hayes either had direct impact on Gauthier's decision to not want to play for the Flyers, or that it was very possible that he did. Hayes befriended Gauthier because he too starred at Boston College. Gauthier called him a role model and said he was someone he is fortunate to have in his contacts who he can call whenever he needs advice. Of course, Hayes was not a fan of Coach John Tortorella, and put doubts in Gauthier's mind about what it's like playing for Torts. Obviously, his influence stretched far beyond young players in the locker room. How's that for a nice going away present for the organization after trading him to St. Louis? That is direct quote from an article written by Sanfilippo. And that got some backlash. But
well, you want to read what Kevin Hayes said on Instagram?
Yeah, we've got that here too. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and read that one, Kurt?
Well, Kevin Hayes addressed what Anthony Sanfilippo said, and on Instagram he says, "This guy is a fucking clown and making shit up." So
and he also
Kevin Hayes denies all of it.
Yeah, before yesterday's game, Matthew DeFranks he's STL today, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He interviewed Hayes about it, asked him kind of to basically elaborate on what he said on Instagram. And again, direct quote from Hayes. Yeah, I think it's complete bullshit, honestly. I think those 2 guys acted like complete pieces of shit, to be honest, making shit up. And I think 2 guys, he meant the other host of Crossing Broad, which is Russ Joy. Now I'm going to bed and waking up with death threats, and people want my family dead, and people that are happy that my brother's dead. I think it's completely insane that this guy can say something like that. I honestly heard it and started laughing. Who the fuck am I to have influence on if a kid plays for an NHL team or not? I don't have that influence.
This is okay. So, the fans' reaction to this, like sending Hayes death threats, glad his brother's dead, all this stupid bullshit, and the fallout from this comment, which Hayes says is completely manufactured. It's interesting that it happens right on the tails of Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel. You know what I mean?
God.
Because Aaron Rodgers going on Pat McAfee's show and making this ass of himself.
And made an enemy of Pat McAfee in the fucking process.
Yeah,
too,
and McAfee had to apologize to his audience for what Aaron Rodgers was saying, and he's just, accuses Kimmel of being a pedophile, and of course, implies that he's on a list that would be a list of basically pedophiles. And it's like, and he's not. I mean, apparently, and it's just. And then Kimmel gets, threats and death threats and is getting harassed by fucking morons. The same thing as this. People hear this shit and they just go bananas and I don't understand people to hear this and then to send someone death threats. That's like, what? I don't understand that whatsoever. Why would you get that involved?
Well, and for me too, it's like, I know that Anthony Sanfilippo, again, talked to him before. He has been around Flyers media for a very, very long time. I think he even used to write for the local paper for them. So he's been around a long time. So I get there being some trust there. But I don't know, just to hear that and then fully just be like, Kevin Hayes is public enemy number one. Let's kill him. Like, let's tell him that his family should be dead. Let's tell him that we're happy his brother's dead. Like, good Lord, overreact much? Again, and I think, you kind of can relate it, I guess, back a little bit to the Kyrou situation when Berube was fired. But, like, that was like a beloved coach who won the only Stanley Cup in history for the Blues. Jordan Kyrou says something that was completely asinine and stupid, and he got called on it. But again, I don't think anyone was, and I hope not, nobody was sending him death threats. Nobody was saying...
If anybody did, it's like that's a completely uncalled for and stupid, right. And denounce your fandom of the Blues right away. Nobody wants to hear from you.
Yeah, and so for people to just react this way, to hear this one reporter say something, and then absolutely to just, okay, yeah, Kevin Hayes is an enemy, and I know he kind of already was because it was clear he kind of wanted out of Philly, but still, I mean, to take it this far, if you want to go on Twitter after reading something like that from Sanfilippo, and you want to jump on Twitter and be like, yeah, I never liked Hayes, fuck him. Okay, fine, that's your opinion, but the shit that he had to deal with when he apparently woke up and read this, no one should ever have to deal with that.
Austin shared with us just now. Good work, Austin. Got a quote from Cutter Gauthier. I would like to especially say that he, meaning Kevin Hayes, had zero conflict with anything that had to do with the trade. So there you go. So it's coming from Kevin Hayes, and it's coming from Cutter himself. So
my thought is maybe, and we can talk more about Hayes, but for Gauthier being a young player, he was excited to be a Flyer. What changed from the draft in June to wanting to get traded, apparently before the World Junior Championships? What happened in training camp? If I'm the Flyers, I'm looking around saying, what happened in training camp? It wasn't just one player telling him, fuck this, don't play for Philly. Something had to happen.
I saw something, some speculation that it was money related, that they didn't put him on the roster at the end of last year because they were bonused out, and that pissed him off. Like that they wouldn't, basically they wouldn't go to extraordinary means to pay him, and that's maybe extraordinary means isn't the right way to put it, but they wouldn't do what it took to take care of the guy. So
and it's interesting that this happens to Philadelphia because they were the benefactors of this kind of thing happening with Eric Lindros when he said he would refuse to play with the Nordiques if he was drafted to Quebec. And they drafted him, and he then demanded a trade, and they had to trade him to Philadelphia, who was more than happy to send a boatload of talent actually for him, and help pave the way for Colorado's Stanley Cup runs. Without that trade, they don't win those cups. So, Philadelphia being really upset about a player who is drafted and then wants to play elsewhere. I mean, you guys benefited from arguably your best player ever that came along from the same kind of situation. So, I mean, what goes around comes around,
Well,
right.
It's just,
and I mean, who wants to play in Philly if just having an opinion gets you death threats, right? That's ridiculous. That's toxic culture, which Philly is renowned for.
Exactly. Jeff, so if let's assume that the Sanfilippo got bad information. Okay. And he went public with it. So being a former media member and who used to write stuff for the Blues, what if you had received bad information like this and went public with it and wrote something on it, how would you have responded to that and handled that after the fact?
Well, I'll just say, first of all, if this was secondhand information that I received, which it sounds like it was from Sanfilippo, I would have specified that this is coming directly from my sources. And he did kind of, but I think to me, it was the last phrase that he wrote about the whole Hayes situation. How's that for a nice going away present for the organization after trading him to St. Louis? That to me reads as matter of fact, Kevin Hayes said this. So Philly, get out your tomatoes and your pitchforks, because
batteries.
and your batteries, yeah. Yeah, your batteries, your
JD Drew, baby.
snowballs. Was that what they were throwing at Santa that one time?
Yes.
Well, they booed Santa.
Yeah, but either way, like I would have made clear, this is not my voice. This is what I'm hearing. And second of all, after the fact, I would have kind of like what Rutherford did, which I still think he didn't need to. I would have said after the fact, okay, apparently my sources were wrong. I apologize. I would have put a column out apologizing. I would have mentioned on the next podcast, and I would have said, I'm really sorry. This was bad information. This is what I was told, and I just had to report it. That's my job. And as far as I know, I haven't seen anything from Sanfilippo basically apologizing for what happened.
Walking it back.
Yeah.
So Austin has the press conference from Tortorella tonight, where he talks about Kevin Hayes. How long is that, Austin? Because we can play it if you want to. If it's just
I haven't been able to get it to play.
No, it's 50 seconds. You want to play it?
Oh yeah, we can play it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's play it. Here we go. This is the press conference from Tortorella tonight, and apparently he's discussing the incident that we're discussing.
The guy here the guy here that caused Kevin Hayes a problem?
Yes.
You?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Do you think Kevin Hayes is going to do something like that?
Any last questions?
Person letting the first two buy him.
It pisses me off that you guys throw that around and affect someone's life. No, Kevin Hayes and I had a problem. We couldn't come to an agreement how to play. That's a good man. That's a good man. And what you said is going to stay with him. That's what you guys don't understand. You say something, and you're going to sit there and say you have the right sources. I call. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh,
wow.
Damn. Good.
John Tortorella. God, that I hate like the feelings I'm having right now, right? Like John Tortorella, bad guy.
I know, right?
That is amazing.
Well, do you remember the Winter Classic, Road to the Winter Classic? I don't know if you watched that one that he was in with the Rangers. Yeah, the whole fucking season, or the whole was it 10 episodes, whatever it is, you get that feeling because you're like, God damn it, Tortorella's actually a good guy away from the rink. And dude, that right there, I mean, he even said it. We had a problem. It was pretty damn clear those two did not get along. But for him to come out and defend him like that, good for him, man. That's great.
Yeah. I've always hated Tortorella, and now I'm like, oh, good on him for this. That's a way to. I mean,
he's shown that he's a good dude. He's just an asshole coach.
Yeah,
it's like, to me, I look at Mike Babcock. I'm like, that dude's a dick. Like, I just look at him. I'm like, that guy's a fucking asshole. But like Tortorella, he's just a dick coach. He's a good dude.
How long is the Cutter video, Austin? Because he uploaded a Cutter video too about where he talks about it as well. So we can play that too if it's not too long. 30 seconds. Okay, let's play that too. There we go.
I did see one thing going around the internet that I would like to specifically address about the rumors about Kevin Hayes, and I would like to officially say that he had zero conflict with anything that had to do with the trade, and seeing all that stuff as pretty ruthless from what people are saying for that. But Kevin Hayes had nothing to do with the situation at hand, and can't really talk too much about it, but going to keep it to myself and my family and my agent. I did see one thing going around the internet that I would like to.
Oh, well,
there we go.
That was, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, if there's any truth to this, to Kevin Hayes saying it, somebody's slipping. You know, like Hayes is like, yeah, you know, we had this one conversation about an argument I had. Cutter Gauthier saying, yeah, there was this one time that, we were just kind of complaining about life in the NHL. There would have been something to me that would have leaked. Clearly, there is no base to this rumor.
Yeah. So, so Sanfilippo, I mean, I feel bad for him because obviously he went public with something that was apparently now like bogus, and he had. I mean, you don't go with that unless you trust it, right? And oof,
Right. He
oof.
took a risk.
Yeah, and he get called out by Tortorella there in the press conference was rough. That's rough.
Yeah, I think at this point, like I said, and again, I'll look here as we're about to take a break. I hope he's walked this back a little bit, because if he hasn't, that just looks even worse on him.
You have to. I mean, Kevin Hayes called him out. Cutter says, this it's bullshit. Tortorella says the same thing. It's like, woof.
Is it going to be is Tortorella calling him out in the presser the end of it, or do the Flyers question the press credential and all that now?
That's kind of what I'm wondering, because Crossing Broad is kind of new media. They're a blog site and a podcast, which up until this point I considered extremely credible. I was excited when we had them on the show. But yeah, I just, you got to think that it's not a newspaper. He's not a newspaper writer. That's probably very easy to pull.
I mean, it's hard enough for bloggers and podcasters to get press credentials with a lot of teams. So to have this happen, I mean, maybe it depends on how he walks it back. Lesson learned maybe for him too.
Wasn't Chris Tellin part of this podcast? I thought I read somewhere that former Philadelphia Flyer and Providence College defenseman Chris Tellin was part of that.
I don't know. Who's the female Philly podcaster that we had on the show before a long time ago? Oh shoot! You know her name? Oh shoot! I was curious of her thoughts on this.
Driver.
That'd been a good thing to. Driver.
Steph Driver.
Stephanie Driver. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Be curious to touch base with her on social media and see what her thoughts were. I'm sure she has spoken about that, but okay. So that's kind of interesting how Kevin Hayes got wrapped into that, and it's unfortunately, apparently, I mean, unless Tortorella and Cutter and Hayes are all lying.
I mean, I'll tell you. Listen, I'm on Crossing Broad's website right now. It's not a good look. They've got, so I think it was Spit and Chicklets called him Sherlock Sanfilippo, and they are running with it on Crossing Broad, and basically putting that like one of their articles. Those sandbaggers at Spit and Chicklets are refuting Sherlock Sanfilippo's reporting while spreading misinformation. And they're basically in this article talking about how
are they
awful,
dying on a hill?
About how awful Spit and Chicklets is, and how they're spreading misinformation.
Well,
which I agree with them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, it seems that they are doubling down on all of this rather than walking it back.
Ooh, wow.
And how do you say Spit and Chicklets is spreading disinformation when they posted the Torts video?
Yeah.
Right? That's direct quotes.
Ooh. I mean, stay tuned, folks, right? As far as what happens with this.
Grab the popcorn.
The most recent article was from 11 hours ago, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Pardon My Take is the latest Barstool property to claim Sherlock Sanfilippo's Kevin Hayes report was a lie, and the opening sentence is, another day waking up to defend the turf. Give up, guys. You lost. Yeah. You're wrong. Let it go.
I mean, it's kind of a sad day
as
when
much as you can.
It's kind of a sad day when you're, using like you're back in Barstool and spitting chiclets
Right.
in the same breath.
I feel very icky right now.
Yeah, it does feel dirty, but I mean, right is right, right? So,
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, okay, okay, so if they're going to double down on this, they need more info from their sources to come back with this as to why they're not wrong.
Right.
And,
yeah. So they're in Philly, right? So I'm expecting a press conference at the Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
That would top this all off nicely.
Yeah, Crossing Broad do not hire former New York Mayor
Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy,
yeah.
I almost said Regis Philbin. I'm like, that's not right.
You know what? It's. I mean, it is a comedy show nowadays with some of that stuff. So
yeah.
All right, we should probably get to break.
Yeah, let's go. We're gonna get into the Blues last couple games and talk about that along with the Blues and Team USA and the World Juniors. After this commercial break, you're listening to Kurt, Bill, and Jeff on Let's Go Blues Radio.
We'll return after these messages.
We've all tried a diet or workout fad at one time or another, but it always ends the same, right? We either lose the weight and then get back to our routine, but then put the weight right back on, or it just simply never takes hold. It's time to move into a habit-based program that focuses on organization and simplicity. Rockin' That Ideal Life's Lean 30 lays it all out for you with the correct food to eat, how to meal prep, and even sprinkles in plenty of healthy recipes. With Lean 30, you'll get the full ID Life arsenal, including energy for that needed kick, a tasty Nourish shake for your needed fiber intake, Slim Plus to help control your cravings and provide a metabolic boost, Lean capsules help bust those sugar cravings, and ID Nutrition gives you the added punch you need that takes the guesswork out of what supplements to take. Join the many who are seeing success and make this your last first day on a new program. Visit rockandthatideallife.com to get started, and remember to email Dustin at rockandthatideallife@gmail.com for an extra 10% off exclusively for Let's Go Blues radio listeners. Start your transformation to the confident, vibrant person you've always wanted to be with rockandthatideallife.com.
St. Louis hockey fans know how it takes a reliable captain and a team of hard workers to achieve major goals. As a police officer and a hockey player, realtor Mike Burgoyne would wear the C in any situation. As a leader in the home buying or selling process, Mike has surrounded himself with a team of trustworthy inspectors, lenders, and escrow officers that work together more cohesively than Hall & Oates. And as a member of many teams in his life, Mike knows the service our first responders, veterans, nurses, teachers, and yes, even you Let's Go Blues Radio listeners provide the community, so he offers special rates to those individuals. Find the value in Mike's leadership and teamwork today by emailing him at mike@strikewithmike.com or calling 314-753-4060. He'll work closely with you and only show you the homes that match your goals. That email again is mike@strikewithmike.com or call him at 314-753-4060 and succeed with your new teammate today.
Buddy, where's the spatula?
Okay, kids, let's go.
There's just one place to go for all your spatula needs.
Spatula City! Spatula City!
A giant warehouse of spatulas for every occasion. Thousands to choose from in every shape, size, and color. And because we eliminate the middleman, we can sell all our spatulas factory direct to you. Where do you go when you want to buy name brand spatulas at a fraction of retail cost?
Spatula City! Spatula City!
And this weekend only, take advantage of our special liquidation sale. Buy 9 spatulas, get the 10th one for just 1 penny. Don't forget, they make great Christmas presents.
And what better way to say I love you than with the gift of a spatula?
Spatula City! Spatula City!
Hello, this is Cy Greenbloom, president of Spatula City. I like their spatulas so much, I bought the company.
Spatula City, 7 locations. We're in the yellow pages under spatulas.
My, where did you get that lovely spatula?
Spatula City, we sell spatulas, and that's all.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
let's give it up for to Austin for coming through with a couple of nice video clips there on the fly. That was well done, Austin.
It is so
if this is your
nice
one
having
show
a
of the
producer.
year, yeah, if this is your one show of the year, it's been a great show.
Yeah. Good work, buddy.
A couple things that were said during the last conversation we didn't get to before we get into it with the recent games. Guy, the Blue Note Fan Report says, I disagree with what Kairu said being asinine. I think, Jeff, you mentioned that what Kairu said about not wanting to comment on Berube was asinine. And so I guess that's what Guy is referring to. I think we were all in agreement with.
I think we all in agreement that it's the thing was it wasn't just no comment. It was he's not my coach anymore.
It wasn't.
That was the kicker.
Yeah, just like dismissing Berube, who, and it's not just the dismissing; it was dismissing a coach who was beloved in this town, and a lot of people didn't like the firing at the time. So, that's not reading the room. We went over this a lot. But I think we're all generally on the same page with what he said was he could have said 100 different things there and been okay, but he said the wrong thing,
Yep.
So he should have said a little bit more what he meant to say and what he said. Who knows if that's one and the same, but yeah. So we discussed that on a previous show, but I think we disagree a little with Guy there. And Julie Ladd, I think I recognize this name from a Facebook season ticket holders, St. Louis Blues season ticket holders group. So it says, hey, all season ticket holders, 20 years so far for the Blues. Let's go Blues. So 20-year season ticket holder. I was an STH for a couple of years.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah. And like during the worst time to be a season ticket holder.
Me too.
Yeah.
Was when they were terrible in the mid 2000s.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
They were cheap as hell.
They were.
Yeah,
$7 something a game.
1 year. Yeah. 1 year was 06, 07.
Yep.
Ugh.
I think I was 06, 07, 07, 08, and maybe 08, 09. It was in my college years. And my friend of the show, Crappy Goalie, him and I we worked together, and he was like, hey, what do you think about getting some season tickets? And I'm like, fucking A, they're cheap as hell. Let's go. And for me, it was just, like we've all said on this show many times, it's still fucking live professional hockey.
Right. Yeah, no. And I think
Right.
I remember looking at the tickets at the time I had season tickets, and the discount for the season ticket holders, we were top row. It wasn't great seats, but they were up high, but they were still good seats. Ended up being like $7 and change for each ticket for each game. I was like, wow, that's bananas compared to how it is now. Austin, I didn't see this comment in the chat. After More That Girl said, I have 2 cans in my fridge for the right price, Ponder. And Austin says, I only hear that comment in the Let's Go Beer voice that we used to run for Center Ice Brewery when they were still a thing. That's funny.
That is.
All right. On to the Blues on the ice. They had a win in a goaltending duel, 2-1 win versus in the shootout over Carolina. Fantastic game. This was a fun game to watch. I stayed off social media that night before. I was busy and watched the game the next day. So it's rough when you record the game and don't watch it the same day. So I watched it the next day on DVR. So I'm like disconnected I'm off the grid. And I didn't hear the score. Actually, we went out to eat at the steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse. Amy and I did. And I did see the score. Yeah, I think it was 1-1 after one period. That's what I saw on the TV. I ignored the rest of it. So, but good game.
Well, that one goal was pretty impressive.
Austin, Nathan Walker. Yeah, and I think, there was some question on social media about why Blues fans would get excited about Nathan Walker. And I'm like,
I saw it from the Drop hockey show.
The Drop. Yeah.
Which
and
he's kind of a negative Nancy, let's be honest. And I strongly disagree. I mean, come on. We all know St. Louis. Yes, we do love our third and fourth liners, but Nathan Walker is an exceptional hockey player. He's got skill.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think he called him a career AHLer is what he called him.
And I think that's in the context of the contract, right? Not the call up. I think this was the conversation last night. To be fair. But yeah, Nathan Walker is an exciting player. He brings the element of speed to this team that you'd think Kairu would dominate, but isn't really delivering enough of.
Jeff, this is from 37 in the YouTube chat. Jeff, crappy goalie better be someone's screen name and not me. I don't know, 37. Did you sit with me for 3 years in Blues season tickets? So that's probably not you.
Nathan Walker's an easy guy to like. He's out there, he works hard. He shows up in spurts, right? And he's just.
And I hear he's from Australia.
I've heard that they only bring it up every single shift, right? Yeah, and who can forget the interaction that Darren Pang and the show had when Pang was talking about Foster's lager after the game, and oh man, the fallout from that! Holy shit, he was pissed.
Yep, he was.
Got text.
I got text. I got texted from Darren Pang. That was bananas. I was like, he misunderstood what I was trying to say, but still, whatever.
Better than me getting laughed at by Craig Button.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Both are pretty epic.
I just don't understand the people who, and this has gone on forever. And there's been times where we've made fun of it. But the people who just are so pissy about Blues fans liking the third and fourth liners. Like, yes, I remember us having a conversation when, actually most recently, we'll talk about this one, when Dakota Joshua left. I remember there being fans that were very upset. How could you let him go? And we were all like, calm down. He's a fourth line player.
Yeah.
They're a dime a dozen. So that kind of thing, yes. But like when there's just people who are like, I love Chris Porter. I love Adam Cracknell. I love Nathan Walker.
You like Cracknell?
No, I'm saying people in general.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a large contingent of fans that loved Adam.
Really? Cracknell?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of people who thought he was great or upset when he got let go.
I'm on board with Porter, but Cracknell, okay. All right. I'll take your
word
for it.
Back
Crasher and Banger.
Bring back Blair Scratchnum.
Oh, boy. That was a tough one. The CPA line. Conroy, Pellerin, Etchnam. But no, I don't know. The people who are just like so pissy about it, like, oh my God, stop with the Nathan Walker love. Like, calm down, okay? Like, I'm a huge Oscar Sundqvist fan. At the end of the day, he's a bottom six forward. Like, but
do you know what's great about?
He does his job well. That's all that matters.
Well, and the thing with Sundqvist too is that he has made it publicly known he wants to be here. So that's endearing to fans, right? I mean, oh my gosh, he's not just a pro cashing a paycheck playing for a city. This guy wants to play in this city, so he likes it here. So I'm like, and I think that resonates with fans quite a bit. I mean, what fan base wouldn't like that? Wouldn't want a player that makes it known that he wants to be in this specific city?
Oh yeah,
that's good
well,
stuff.
I mean, that's why we fell in love with David Perron again and again and again.
Right, because I mean, he was an effective player, right? He was an impact player for us too. So, yeah, I and again, Nathan Walker's such an easy guy to like. I don't get the calm down about the. Don't get excited about Nathan Walker. I like Nathan Walker. He's fun.
When you mentioned the he's an easy guy to like, and for me it's and I'm kind of a storyteller at my job. That's kind of what I have to do. So I love the story of him being a Australian moving to the Czech Republic because he knew he had to, if he was going to make it in the NHL, he had to move away from Australia. Great story, and that's why I kind of like pump the brakes when I say I don't like Tyler Tucker, because he has a very good story too, and I'm like, come on, Tyler, just get over the hump. Stop being so fucking slow. But yeah, I mean, the story is great with some of these guys. And when you learn them, it's like, how can you not love them for that?
Agreed. Let's all calm down. Let people like who they want to like.
Some people like some things, some people like other things.
You know what? I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking third and fourth line players. I mean, the lunch pail guys, right? So I mean,
Ryan Johnson was one of my favorite players when I was a teenager.
I mean, Kelly Chase. I mean, he's beloved in this town.
Yeah.
I mean, the Plager brothers.
Oh,
I mean, come on. I mean, that's. I mean, I think a lot of teams, a lot of fan bases love the third and fourth line guys, the guys who go out there and bang and hit and create some havoc, and create space. So, and so a lot of towns will say, but it's not just specific to St. Louis. There are a lot of towns that kind of have that affinity towards those third and fourth line guys.
Right. Yep. It's you wouldn't bat an eye if you walked into Enterprise Center and saw somebody sporting a Bobby Basson jersey.
Oh, that'd be
hell
awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I've seen it.
That'd be great.
I will say my favorite jersey sighting ever was about a year ago. My wife and I were at a game and we saw I'm gonna say 54. I could be wrong on the number. Mike Glumac jersey.
Wow.
And I'm like, I looked at my wife and I go,
was it Mike Glumac?
And that's what I said. I go, there's such a thing as an affinity for bottom line players. That actually has to be Mike Glumac.
Yeah.
I played here once.
Oh my God. What's his name? Oh God, why am I drawing a blank on his name? The Blues enforcer, not Chase. Oh, Kimball, Darren Kimball. There's probably one Darren Kimball jersey floating around out there that you might see every once in a while, and it's being worn by Darren Kimball.
Yes, right. Biggest fan of Let's Go Blues Radio, Darren.
Sure,
Kimball.
yeah. Him and Jamie Rivers, right?
Yep, they love us
because we're keyboard warriors.
We are keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors.
Okay, so back to this game. Something that I noticed with this game, and the stats backed it up. The Blues, especially Parayko Letty, holy shit, they shut down that first line. Carolina, I don't want to say they're top heavy because they do have a good lineup, but man, their first line is one of the best first lines in the NHL. And Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov all had a 6-game point streak end in this game. Aho, in those 6 games, 3 goals, 13 assists. Svechnikov, 7 goals, 7 assists in 6 games.
I believe it's pronounced Aho, but
Aho, yes. No, I was amazed. Just amazed at how well they shut that. And I'll give Letty his due, but mostly Colton Parayko. He was blocking every pass coming through. He used his big frame to get in front, and we've seen him do it all season. Just super impressed by the Blues. And Binnington, too. Binnington, Seth Jarvis, I remember he made a huge save on him. I think it was in the second period. He played a tremendous game, but I want to give a lot of kudos to Parayko Letty because they really did not let that first line get going.
So Nathan Walker scores the Blues' first goal on a dump pass, elevated pass, way up in the air. Misplayed by the defender, tries to jump in and grab it, and couldn't do so. Nathan Walker comes in, breaks in the right side, scores a goal, far post. So obviously, Blues up 1-0 in this game. Carolina ties it later in the first period, but Binnington was solid in this game. Just allowed the 1 goal to Teravainen. Off of a screen, toe drag, shot, good shot, tough. I don't know. There was one guy, I guess you call it a screen, right? One guy, toe drag, kind of pulls around, gets the angle on Binnington and shoots and scores. I don't know. I had no problem with the goal. It was a good goal.
I didn't like, back when we used to break down the goals here, we would literally look and say, okay, who can we kind of point to as like, that wasn't a good play by that defenseman or the goalie or whoever. I thought that was just a great play by Carolina.
Yeah.
I thought they they perfected that play because that's what they do. They're a good offensive team.
So this game goes to overtime, goes to a shootout. I was pissed.
Hang on, are you getting to the shootout?
Yes.
Before you get to the shootout,
okay.
I just want to mention, first of all, and this includes the shootout, that's the best game I've ever seen Antti Raanta play. We've seen him play a lot here in St. Louis. He was ridiculous. He was sent down just a couple. This was his second game, third game back. He got sent down because he was just piss poor.
He was on waivers.
He was on waivers. He got sent to the AHL. He got called up, and since then, and I apologize, I haven't looked since this game, but to this point in this game, he was just playing the best hockey of his career. And I thought he had an incredible game, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention his save on Brandon Saad in overtime. That was the one where Kapanen sent it across the crease. Saad kind of bobbled it for a second, but then he still was able to elevate a shot and get it.
Two shots.
Even with him bobbling it,
shots,
yeah, I feel like he's still on that first shot. It would have been tucked it right in on that post. As he's trying to slide across, I thought, man, there's no way, like where he put that, Raanta could have gotten across. He jumped across. He made the save with the inside of his blocker, made him drop his stick. Just, and that, to me, that moment was when I looked at my son and I said, Blues are going to lose this game because Antti Raanta cannot be beat. Like that save, they're going to turn around here in the next minute and they're going to score. And thank God that didn't happen because right after that, Jordan Binnington made a really nice save. So great goaltending all around in this game.
So it goes to a shootout, right? And would you say something, Bill, about that overtime?
No, it was the goaltending duel aspect of this game was like, soul food for me. It was amazing.
And Bill,
some people hate the low scoring games. I love them.
I love them. As long as it's a well played game.
Sure.
We've seen games where it's a 1-0, 2-1 game, and it's just a shit game. Like the ice is bad, players are falling over each other. Since Christmas, actually since before Christmas, I have loved every single Blues game. This has been the most fun hockey I've watched in 2 years for the St. Louis Blues.
No, those games coming back after like Olympic breaks where half the team's been down in Baja drunk and the other half's traveled halfway across the world because they were at the Olympics. Like, those kinds of low scoring games are awful, but a goalie duel, like where both keepers are on their game. Oh my God.
You think Vegas needs? You think the Vegas Golden Knights need to ask the Blues how to play Colorado? Because they're losing 2-0 right now.
No, I'm with you, Bill. I just, God damn, I have had so much fun watching the Blues. Like last night, the wife was asking me, hey, instead of watching the Blues game, can we do this? And I'm like, I'm sorry, honey, and maybe I.
They're on a heater,
but
they're on a heater, baby.
But I was like, this has been exciting hockey. Like. Since the coaching change, really, and I hate to say it because
one game minus one game,
really
bad game, right?
Like this has been the kind of hockey I love. The goaltending duel, the great defensive plays. We're seeing Torrey Krug make ridiculous plays over and over on defense, and not to mention Parayko. Like this has been so much fun, and obviously the shootout. I hate shootouts. This was a great fucking shootout. I had fun watching this one.
Yeah.
So. Seeing that Buchnevich was given an opportunity in the shootout, who has struggled to put the puck on the net, he can't get it past the goaltender recently at all. So he's given the chance in the shootout, and I was so pissed. I was at his attempt. He comes in, he glides in, and he coasts right to left, and tries to outweight the goalie. Raanta stands his ground. And he just ends up flipping a shot on goal from a bad angle. I'm like, what the fuck was that? That was awful. It was a terrible shootout attempt. Awful.
Well, conversely on that, Sebastian Aho, I thought that was the game winner when he came in on Binnington. And dude, that was a sick, not even really a sick move. It was just so nonchalant that it was just like, oh, okay. Like that's what Binnington was thinking. He's just going to skate in. He's going to go to the backhand and shoot. And so that's why he went for the poke check.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, burned.
completely missed it.
Yep.
And Aho just waited him out. I mean, just a smart, great play by Aho. Sorry.
Aho. And and Neighbors was fucking money. He comes in, he has to score to prolong the shootout, and he does. And he comes in, and I wanted to ask you, Bill. He comes in, he goes 5-hole. Out of all the places a guy can score on you, what's the most frustrating? Is it 5-hole? Because it like goes right through you pretty much.
Depending on the context, in a shootout, no.
Okay.
In a shootout, because you're moving, something's got to open up. 5-hole's the most likely thing. When somebody beats you from the top of the slot with barely a screen in front of you, 5-hole, oh, it's the worst feeling in the world. But if you get opened up by a deke, hats off to the guy, right? Yeah, I'm gonna probably break my stick over the post, but that's me. But I do that no matter how they scored. They were gonna score. But no, if you get opened up, it's part of the game, right?
Bill, and this completely takes us away from this game, but I have to ask you, since we're on the subject, you haven't played since the new trend of where they call it a new 5-hole under the glove and right above the leg pad. How often did you get beat there?
Oh, yeah. Especially blocker side. If I ever play again, and you're listening to this, don't shoot to my blocker side like above the pad. You'll score 100% of the time.
Okay, so that's where I'm shooting on you.
It's kryptonite for a guy like me. But
we gotta do that. Kurt, I don't know how much you've ice skated, but
it's been a while.
Not much. Well, I tell you what, we should rent out an ice rink when Bill has his goalie pads. Just the three of us. And Austin. We'll get Austin out there too. And just
somebody's got to pay for him.
Is that called the new 5-hole? Over the pad under the glove?
I don't like calling it that.
I don't know if it was the Carolina game, but I did hear something referenced in a recent broadcast.
Yeah, I don't like calling it that, because to me the 5-hole is the 5-hole. Like, call that the 6-hole. I don't know, but
it's 6 is under the arms. 6 and 7 under the arms, right?
Yeah, 6 and 7 are under the arms. So, to be accurate,
should be 8-9 then over the pad. 8-9 over the pad, under the blocker, over the pad, under the glove.
Well, it's just like the shooter tutor is just wrong, because it was based on the stand-up goaltending, which doesn't exist anymore.
Right, that's true.
I've been giving this a lot of thought, like watching games. Like, if I get back in there, like, I always wanted to play from my knees when I was playing in high school and growing up, and I would never have been allowed to play a game because that just wasn't a thing. But now that is how the game's played. Once the puck is down, low in the zone, goalies are going down like real fast. And I probably would have been a lot more popular at high school, right? But
37 in the chat says, Bill, totally agree with that entire assessment of 5-hole goals. 37 is, by the way, spoiler alert, my ice hockey goalie. So a guy that I know gets beat 5-hole all the time.
37 in a row?
37 in a row.
I mean, that's
love you, Dave. I'm just fucking with you.
For all of you Clerks fans out there. So after Neighbors scores, the clutch goal that it was, Martinuk comes in, Benton makes the save, and then Shen gets the opportunity. And I thought, man, they're going with in this shootout, they're Bushnevich and Shen, two guys struggling to put the puck in the net, and Shen comes through. Nice goal. Ranta almost got it, off the underside of the bottom side of his blocker, but it goes in. So it's like Rivers calls it the 6-hole, according to 37.
Yeah, I think he does.
But 6 and 7 are under the arms, though. So let's get that straight.
But that's where it is. That's where it is.
Is
it because you're so low?
Well, okay, all right, I guess so. I'm thinking like more up towards the elbow, not so much under the glove. But okay.
That's kind of that same area.
All right, let's not split hairs here. But
Well,
yeah, I
anyway,
agree. Kind of.
yeah. So I don't want to say disagree because I don't think you were making a hard stance. I actually liked Shen coming into the shootout here because overall,
let me clarify that I thought it was interesting. I'm like, this is gonna get the guy going or not, right? I thought there was all kinds of mind games going on here. Like, let's put him out there in the shootout. Maybe if he scores, it can get him going.
Yeah. So periods 1 through 3. Braden Shen was non-existent. Hardly noticed him on the ice. Overtime, he had a shift where he had one really good scoring chance and then made another really, really good pass. And I thought, man, Braden Shen seems to be feeling it right now. And even when the shootout started, I'm like, let's rewind the clock 3 years when Shen was almost your go-to shootout guy. Like, let's give him a shot here, see what he can do. And so when he was brought out, I'm like, hell yeah. And he, made a really nice move on Ranta and waited him out and got a good shot. And almost to a point, I almost felt not so much the Buchnevich, because I agree with you, Buchnevich, horrible shootout chance.
That was terrible. That was
but
awful.
I was almost afraid, and it would probably, if he would have waited another half second, we probably would have said the same thing about Shen. You waited way too long. Get a fucking shot.
Yeah.
And he put it right where he needed to, right when he needed to. Just a great shot. Game over. Loved it. Great call putting Shen in the shootout.
Blues were outshot in this game 30-22. Carolina had the edge on faceoffs 57.4 to 42.6. Blues were 0 for 1 on the power play. Carolina was 1 for 1. Penalty minutes in this game, 2 apiece. Hits were fairly even, 12-10 Carolina. Block shots, 25-13 for the Blues. Giveaways, 8-3 for Carolina. Takeaways, 12-4 for Carolina. So anyway, another very good game by the Blues under Bannister. And so the Blues at this point are kind of rolling, right? Even though they lost, this is their second win in a row after losing a couple. And we talked about the 2 losses prior in the last show, how they weren't really bad performances. They just happened to lose it happens. But then the next game, we can talk about what we just talked about, Nathan Walker extension. Do you want to talk about that some more? We talked about that a little bit earlier.
I think we covered it.
Yeah,
we did.
I mean, one-way deal, $775,000 at the NHL level. It was 29, his 5th season with the Blues, posted 26 points, 13 goals, 13 assists in 101 regular season games, including 1 goal in 2 games this season. Walker has also recorded 29 points, 13 goals, 16 assists in 30 games with the Springfield Thunderbirds in the AHL this season.
The only thing I'll say about this that I've said this, I think, on the show before, and I know I bitched about it years ago. The AHL named their all-star rosters, and they picked 2.
It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
I told you last night. No!
I will always appreciate a Simpsons interruption. No, I don't know. It bothers me because in the AHL, obviously, players get called up all the time. If you're having a good season, you're going to get called up. And they named their all-stars. Adam Gaudette was one, and I'm drawing a blank on who the other one was. Why not just name Nathan Walker? Like, to me, it's such an accomplishment because clearly he would have been named. He was the leader for the Thunderbirds, having a good year in the AHL. I hate that. It's like, dude, just name him. So that way it's like, hey, Nathan, just so you know, we have noticed how good of a season you're having. We're going to name you to the AHL All-Star game. You don't have to play. We can replace you, but you've been named. I don't know. Just a little nitpicky thing by me that bothers me about the AHL.
So the Blues opened a 4-game homestand against Florida on Tuesday, and they got rather whooped by the Florida Panthers 5-1 behind a Mathieu Tkachuk hat trick. The first 2 of his goals were elite level goals. That first goal, the first one was the one-timer from the from deep that you couldn't put it any farther upper far corner. It's fantastic. I mean, now Hofer may have been off his angle a little here because I'm not sure how that goal goes in from where Kachuk's shooting. You don't think so?
No.
Okay. I mean, it was
No.
a fantastic shot. And then the second one, the redirection, which, I didn't have Kachuk's first goal in my bag at all when I played. But I did enjoy redirecting shots from the point on goal. And his redirection was like, it's a thing of beauty. He knew what he was doing too. Some guys redirect the puck and they're just trying to get it on goal. He's trying to go upper. You can tell with this shot. It's like the game slowed down for him on this shot, and he just redirected it.
Well, it's like you. Whenever I am stuck on forward, I do love going to the net and trying to deflect in anything. I always tell my point men, shoot it anytime I'm in front. And yeah, same way. Like whenever I see a shot coming, I kind of hack down because I'm like, it's coming mid-level. I'll hack it down. Hopefully it goes between the legs.
Because the goalie's coming up like this, and then you want to go down with him coming up.
A guy like, let's face it, most NHL players, they don't always do the same move. Matthew Tkachuk, like you said, every time I've seen him deflect a puck, I'm putting this over the goalie's shoulder. And that's just ridiculous. Like you said, the game just slows down because these shots are coming at you 80, 90 miles an hour. And he's able to fucking read it and be like, if I put my stick here, it's going to go off the top and it's going to go right over the goal. I just don't. My mind can't work that way. It's too slow.
Guys like Pavelski, they can just are just wizards with redirecting pucks out of the midair. It's like the game slows down. They can see the puck just better than anybody else. It's so impressive. It's got to be one of the hardest things to do in sports.
It is.
Along with hitting a fastball in major leagues, is to redirect a shot like that from the point.
Yeah, but Gustav Forsling made the play he made to lead up to that, not firing into the shin pads, moving to the side.
Yep.
Like Tkachuk read it perfectly, and he and Forsling were on the same wavelength. That we used to see that all the time with the Sedins back in the day, right? In Vancouver, the high slot redirect. They're the ones that kind of popularized that, and just it was executed so flawlessly. And give Tkachuk, that was beautiful, but don't forget Forsling. He had to make a move to make that play, and he executed perfectly.
Well, and that was another play where I again wanted to point out, okay, who did not have Tkachuk covered, and you could make the case it was Nick Leddy if you watch the play. But again, that's just one of those plays where, like you said, it wasn't Forsling getting the puck at the point and just firing it, and all of a sudden, okay. I think in that point, Nick Leddy or Parayko has Tkachuk covered, but because Forsling had the presence of mind to move and get to where he knows he's going to get a shot through at least to one of his forwards, that just fucked the whole play up for the Blues. And Leddy couldn't read it, Parayko couldn't read it, and it was only, like you said, Matthew Tkachuk that could read where the shot was going, where it was coming from, and he just, made an excellent play out of Forsling's play.
He's an elite level. He's an elite talent in the NHL. I'm still annoyed the Blues didn't go, whether or not Tkachuk wanted to come here or not. I mean, I would have loved to have seen him come here. That would have been fantastic. However, why that didn't work out, who knows for sure.
I just don't think the Blues had the pieces.
I don't think they had the pieces. Well, you can always have the pieces. I guess it just depends how much you want to give up, right? I mean, or maybe or not as desirable pieces of what Florida wants.
I don't think they had
what
the pieces
Calgary wanted.
that Florida was offering. At the time, we considered Justin Huberdeau an elite NHL player.
Right, but at the same time, Tkachuk had to have wanted to go to where he was traded to because he was going to threaten to not resign there. So, whatever the circumstances were, fine. I'm just kind of bitter that he's not here.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have seen him here.
That would have been amazing.
He seems like the perfect player to be here.
Yeah, but I was thinking about this last night, especially when they kept panning to showing Walt and Chantel in the box, right? How much advice do you think they gave him? Like, all right, you have a choice at this point in your career of where you get to play, right? You get to go to Miami, and in your mid-20s, take that opportunity, right? Take that opportunity. You can always come here for the end of your career.
Well, and there was some talk too that players a lot of times don't want to play in their hometown because there's so much pressure. So maybe he really did tell Calgary, like, listen, I don't want to go to St. Louis. Maybe when I'm older, maybe when I'm 30, but right now it's just not the right time.
Didn't Armstrong come out and say too that they didn't really
they didn't
pursue
engage.
it? They didn't really pursue it. So whatever. I mean, it's just, wishful thinking, I guess. But so you got Kachuk's 2 world-class goals against the Blues. You've got the Blues power play in this game, letting them down 0 for 4.
Terrible.
That 4-minute power play was, and the giveaway by Verana that led to a goal, and then the power play going into the third period they didn't score on. Just like there's a few things in this game. I don't think the Blues played a terrible game, but their power play was bad in this game that let them down when they really needed to score in this game. And then Tkachuk, just being Tkachuk, you just can't. Sometimes you can't stop him. And you get beat by an elite player. It happens. It is.
Let's face it, too, that Florida, since the Blues beat them in December, they haven't lost a game.
Right.
They are playing great hockey now.
And let's talk about, and so Hofer was in net the last time the Blues played Florida and won in Florida. Very good game for the Blues. Hofer shut him down, allowed 1 goal. Now, in this game, I understand, Hofer had a great game against him in Florida. I understand the philosophy and the mindset to put him back in net at home against Florida. However, that's not where my mind was when I heard Hofer was starting. I was like, I wouldn't do that. I would have went back with Binnington. We are at home. He's your number 1 goalie. Florida's on a roll. They're a cup contender. They're a really good team. I'm going with my number 1 goalie in this game.
How about just the fact that Binnington's on a heater right now, too?
Yeah.
He's playing great hockey.
And not that would have made a difference in the game. We may still have lost this game, all things else considered, but because the power play, was bad and it cost us. It was part of the reason why we lost this game. And so, but still, I when I saw Hofer starting this game, I'm like, no. I'm like,
I didn't like it either.
Games we've talked about the games I always start Binnington. Always. Division games, always, if possible. Home games against good teams, especially, and let Hofer play against non-division games on the road, and non-division games that, or maybe at home that are against weaker opponents. That's what I'm playing. Hofer.
Win against Carolina 5-4 in the shootout, then if they go to Hofer, I say, okay, well, you know what? Give this kid a shot against a really good team, sure.
Maybe.
But the fact that he's on a fucking heater right now, he's playing great hockey. Keep him in the net. Don't take him out unless it's a back-to-back.
Yeah, it tells me that the Blues are pre-planning who's playing the games. Right? I think this goes back to that. Talked about this last week and several weeks before, that first disastrous West Coast road trip where you don't start Binnington, to begin the trip, and it just everything goes wrong on that trip. Right? They've got a plan and they're sticking to it. They're not reading the room. They're not seeing who's the hot goalie. Right? They're not respecting the heater, and that's kind of the problem that I had with last night. Right? Binnington was super strong against Carolina, and just because you had Hofer, we want the young guy to get one of these games on the home stand. Let's make it the Panthers.
I don't know why we had a couple of days off before this.
Yeah,
it's not like we had it's not like it was every other night. So we had 2 days off. It was with no games. So there's that. And to me, this is the stereotypical start your number 1 goalie. Florida is one of the best teams in the league, and you're at home, and you play your best against their best, and whoever comes out on top, more power to them.
You look at the rest of this homestand. To me, you go. Let's say Tuesday, you go Binnington with Florida. Thursday, Rangers, Binnington. Saturday, Bruins, Binnington. Monday, Philadelphia. That's your hope for start.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
A matinee game on Monday, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go right. And
Well,
that's
it's 7.
is it?
That's
I
what it
thought
says
was,
on the. That's what it says on the schedule right now.
Since it's
Yeah.
a
I think
federal
that was one they
holiday.
changed.
Yeah, I thought one version of the schedule I saw with it being a federal holiday, it's probably better given the shit weather we're gonna have here this weekend.
And we got Philadelphia, Washington. So take your
right.
pick. Take a pick.
Right.
Hofer can start 2 out of those 3.
Right.
Right. If you want to get him some more work. So
Yeah.
And then you got Calgary and Vancouver back to back the following week.
Again,
But that's
it's not that Hofer played bad. I just
No.
didn't like the decision.
I completely agree. Yeah. I just this is a number 1 goalie game for me always. And I don't care how your back was playing.
Right. And your team's going to feel better, seeing that you're starting your number 1 against Anthony Stolarz, right? A career backup, who's now pitched 2 really good games against the Blues in his career. But still, you have Bennington going instead of Hofer. The team's got a little more a little more confidence, I think. But
when I saw that decision, I was like, I don't like that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Hofer plays great in the Blues, and it's a really good game but yeah, it was not that. It was not the case. So and again, the Blues power play was a big thing in this game too.
I broke it down a couple weeks ago about I think it was the Detroit game, the game that got Ruby fired. Like, if the Blues converted on any of these 3 power plays, this would have been a different game. And it's the same fucking thing here. Jesus Christ. Like, now I will say, I do think they look better since they've done the whole Brad Richards power play consultant thing. But still, you have to find a way to capitalize. That high stick on Brandon Saad from Sam Bennett, 4-minute power play.
You have to
got to score, because Florida had just scored. It was 2-1. You've got to score. And if you don't score there,
and they score right after.
They score right after the Lundell high stick. That was the one at 1948 of the second. So 30 seconds after that power play scores, and you mentioned it, Kurt, Vrana has that horrible giveaway. What are you doing, man? Fucking move the puck. 30 seconds later, they come down and fucking score. And it's just, that was Tkachuk's beautiful one-timer. But yeah, that was the nail in the coffin to me. It was like, and again, it's 3-1, but it's also that you've had 2 glorious chances on the power play late, like when you needed to score to turn the tide, and you did nothing with it.
Right. So and that's the story of the game. The starting goalie is a sideshow issue for me. It's not the main reason. It's not my main issue with this game. It's the power play. And I don't even have an issue with a lot of the goals the Blues gave. I mean, with Tkachuk goals especially, it's like those are like impossible to defend. They're tough, I mean, except for the Vrana turnover, right? Leading the whole thing.
I didn't like the Panthers' first goal. That was the one Stenlin scored. They had the 2-on-1. Hofer made a really nice save.
Oh, right.
But then they were puck chasing.
That's true.
Annoying.
They were all over the place. They weren't.
The Blues were out of position, but Stenlin knocked that. That was a hell of a goal.
It really was.
That was 3 inches off the ice when he redirected that between Hofer's 6th hole.
I was mad.
But still,
I was mad when it went in.
I don't think Stenlin should have ever even gotten to that puck.
No, he shouldn't. He was left wide open.
Well,
I was mad when it went in.
Perunovic was bad there.
I was mad when it went in but then when I saw the replay and how he took it out of midair, I was less irritated and more impressed. But like you said, that opportunity probably shouldn't have been there at all. But the actual goal itself was an impressive one. The Florida scored some impressive goals in this game.
They did.
They did a great job of finding soft spots against Parayko and Leddy. Right, the other 3 non-empty net goals in this game were Parayko and Leddy combination on the ice, and Florida just broke us down and got got open in soft spots and were able to capitalize.
I think it's worth noting that Kapanen, Hayes, and Verana were all -2 in this game as well. They, again, that goal with Stenlund, I felt I didn't even see Verana in the replay. Like, where the fuck are you, dude? And Hayes and Kapanen were both just kind of gliding back on the play. So I think I don't know. I guess they thought, okay, we'll glide back. Perunovic has got the guy in front. Scandella's going to get the passer. I don't know. But either way, it was a total fucking breakdown. And I blame the forwards on that too.
I thought the Blues played better than the 5-1 score. I don't think it was a 5-1 game necessarily.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
But, and people, and so, you know, and it's funny how, you know, the bipolarness of a fan base in general, it can be. And so the Blues were playing really good hockey since Banners took over, all except for one game. They played they had a really nice run of games. And of the games they lost, except for one, were well-played games, I thought. And this one wasn't bad. But yeah, so there are people jumping ship today after this 5-1 game, and you know, all just complaining about this, that, and the other thing now. And they want Verana shipped out, which that's a legitimate gripe, right? Verana is he playing himself out of the NHL?
I thought he played okay against Carolina. I was like, he's still not hustling. We've seen him hustle before. He's still not getting in the scoring positions we expect him to. I thought he was, again, dog shit against Florida. Like, I just don't get it. Like, what happened to this guy?
You know who was good was Shen in this game. Shen
I
had a
thought
good
so
game.
too.
Shen had a great game.
It was all because of the shootout.
He had a goal. He had his only goal.
Right, and he's seemed to found his confidence. Right, he went, what was it, 10 or 11 without scoring, and then the shootout helps him. Great point. And yeah, that's a great job following Neighbors to the net on that. And,
well, and yeah, that goal was all hard work, is what that was, because the Blues, you know, they break into the zone. Florida, you know, defends it pretty well. Nico Mikkola, friend of the St. Louis Blues, he tries to get it out.
Not of the show.
Not of the show. No. Fuck you, Nico Mikkola. I'm kidding. He basically looks like there's no doubt he's going to get it out. But again, credit to Nick Leddy, who I actually thought had not a good game, but this play was spectacular. He stepped in, he read the play well, and he got it over to, I think he got over to Saad. Saad finds Neighbors. Neighbors makes the nice play, and then, of course, Shen finishes it off. But that was just the Blues just pressing. And we've talked on this show, who is this team? Like, what is their mantra? Who are they? I think this is a team that could be going down as, this is a hard fucking team to play. Like, they will battle. They will not give up on plays. They will forecheck. Not to the extent of the 2019 Blues, but still a team that will battle every single shift. And they showed that on this goal. If they could keep that kind of play up, this is a playoff team.
And you felt good about it because that was the 4 straight 2-1 games, right? They were in every game, and it was super tight. They were competitive in every game. And then this one, it just seemed like it just, you know, after the Kachuk fall on his ass, beautiful goal, they got away from him.
Yeah, this game got away from him. I thought it was still a fun game to watch. Like, I still enjoyed it.
It was.
I too.
It was just like, motherfucker, everything is going right for Florida in this game.
Yeah, and Florida they were very I'm not going to say opportunistic, but they executed stellar a few times, and they had some very pretty goals. So it's like when you see a goal score like that against you, you know, my reaction is like, I see it, and I'm like, wow. I mean, that's just, you know, tip your cap. I mean, that's just a fantastic play. I mean, that happened a few times in this game.
Yep,
a couple, at least two.
We've already talked about a million times, but that Kachuk snipe when he fell on his ass. I mean, God, I looked at that play and I'm like, I wish, and I'm not wanting to just shit on Jordan Kyrou. That's what we should see him doing.
Well, he's got to
those kind of
shoot.
plays.
It's so funny because he leads the team in shots by a wide margin, but I'm on here thinking the guy needs to shoot more. He passes up way too many shooting opportunities, and I'm like, you should have twice as many shots as the next guy on the team. I get because he's got the opportunity, and he passes too much or he waits too long, and I mean, like, lead the league in shots. I don't care. Get your fucking shot on net and take more of them.
I remember watching. I'm trying to blank on his name, but the play-by-play guy, Joe Beninati, right?
Piscopo.
The Washington Capitals.
Yeah,
not Joe Piscopo. Wow, great reference. No, Joe Beninati. I remember it was like Ovechkin's 4th season, and they had him on some show, and they were talking about him. And he made a comment. He goes, "Look at the stats right now. Alex Ovechkin has triple the amount of shots of anyone else on the team right now. That guy, he gets it into the zone and he shoots."
Yeah.
And that has stuck with me. That should be, and again, I'm not trying to compare Jordan Kyrou to Alex Ovechkin, but that's what he should be doing. Every time the puck's on his stick in the offensive zone, put it on net.
He's had the opportunity too. He's been in. It's not like we're asking him to shoot from far out or, you know, in bad instances where it's not a good shot on net. He's had chances in close, and he passes to a guy in traffic, you know, or tries to go back door and the guy's covered. And it's like, dude, just fire the fucking thing.
Right. So early on in that game last night, that line got buzzing around the net, and Thomas made a great pass to Kyrou, who was alone in front, and he took the shot, and it was Stolarz made the save, right? And then for the next 5-6 opportunities that Kyrou had the puck, he wouldn't shoot. And that, I think he gets frustrated too easily. And they need to drill that. Like,
I'd love
point,
to.
They need to drill it in his head. You're in the offensive zone. Shoot the damn puck. And Jimmy Snuggerud, if you're listening to this, keep it going, buddy.
Right.
When you get to the NHL, do what you're doing.
Don't.
I would love for them to pull out tape from the World Juniors and be like, you see this kid who's going to be up here taking your job? That's what you should be doing. No, I was going to say I would love to ask, and maybe the comparison's not fair at this point. I'd love to ask Jim Campbell about when he started having scoring issues, because I feel like that's the exact same thing that happened to him. I feel like he had a great rookie year. He looked fucking world beater, and then all of a sudden he couldn't score early in his second year, so he started passing up chances.
Are you comparing Jordan Kyrou to Jim Campbell?
In a way, not negative way.
Let's hope Jordan Kyrou turns out better than Jim Campbell did.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying that I feel like that's what he did. It was like, oh my God, I'm not scoring goals. I just need to pass every time I get it. And it's like, no, Jim Campbell knows more about hockey than anything I'll ever know. But it's like, I just remember watching him play and thinking, shoot the damn puck, dude. Like, keep shooting. You will score again. But then all of a sudden he started passing every chance. And I'm with Bill. I feel like that's what Kyrou's doing right now.
Have you been to the Geyer Inn?
The what?
The Geyer Inn in St. Louis.
Kirkwood.
Yeah, Kirkwood.
I don't think
because
so.
Jim Campbell owns that. It's a bar, small bar. Yeah, I've been there a few times with Amy. Yeah, nice little bar. They have a little patio, a little courtyard in the back with washers or bags and stuff. Nice little place. But it's a hockey theme. It got a hockey theme inside. Yeah, Jim Campbell is the owner, part owner, whatever. So yeah, go check it out. Geyer Inn. There's a huge Airstream camper
trailer.
It sells pizza, right? And it's got NHL logos all over it in the front of the place. Yeah.
Why have I not been there? I used to live in Kirkwood.
The Geyer Inn. Geyer. Yeah, go check it out.
Okay.
Geyer Road, right?
Yeah, it's on Geyer Road. Yeah, that's why.
Obviously.
That's the name. Yeah.
Is it gear?
Gear. Yeah, it's gear.
And Jim Campbell does live in. He may. I think he hangs out there every now and then. So he does.
Congratulations,
live in
Bill. You get comment of the show. Gear in.
Gear in.
Wait a minute. Is that? I've seen it. I didn't know he owned that. Okay.
Yeah,
I know right where that's
the
at.
Airstream, the silver Airstream trailer out front.
Yeah.
Or the
okay.
camper. Yeah.
Damn, I'll have to go there. I play at the ice rink out there all the time.
Yeah, it's a hockey stuff inside a little bit. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The few times I've been there, it has not been busy at all. But
well, good.
Yeah, during hockey games and stuff, they have them on. So
maybe the Gear In would like to sponsor Let's Go Blues Radio
for the low price of whatever, $50 a month or whatever it's going to be. I don't know. So
I don't know. I don't even know.
We'll make up some numbers. I don't even know what we're doing.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, right. $100 a month.
Hey, why not? A month. Sure. Okay.
No, so the other thing I'll add about Kyrou, damn, dude, I have never seen, and I think I said this exact thing maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, a player of his caliber losing the puck just rampant. And it goes to one of the points I wanted to make in this game. I don't normally look at giveaways and takeaways for the stats just because they always seem incorrect to me. Like
Florida had 4 giveways in this game, if you can believe that. Just 4 giveaways in the entire game.
And the Blues had 16.
16
apparently.
Yeah.
But I that did kind of stand out to me, and I'm like,
but just
maybe
4?
not the 4, maybe not the 4 for Florida, but the 16 for St. Louis, that feels about right. And I feel like about 10 of them were from Jordan Kyrou.
To say that a team gave up the puck only 4 times in the entire 60-minute hockey game is bullshit. They didn't it's way more than 4 and way more than 16. I don't know what I don't know what the factors are.
I agree. It's more than 16, but for it to be a high number, which is a high number in giveaways, that felt right. Because man, Jordan Kyrou, I love the kid, and I'm rooting for him, but Jesus Christ, kid, you have got to hold on to that puck. I've never seen a top line player turn the puck over. There was a play right before Kachuk scored in the empty net. He's trying to carry it up through 3 Panthers in the defensive zone with the goalie pulled. What are you doing? He turned the puck over, and luckily, I think it was maybe it was Letty stopped the pass in the middle, so they didn't score. But it was like, dude, you got to move that. What are you doing? You're not going to be able to beat 3 guys in the offensive zone. Like, move the puck.
After his no comment moment, and he came out and played a good couple games, I thought, okay, this is the jolt that he needed.
Yes.
The shot in the arm, the punch in the mouth he needed to get going this season. And he's just slowly regressed back into the player he was before. And it's just like, I mean, it's so frustrating to watch this guy who is just immensely talented to just continually not get it done out there with seemingly the simplest of plays. It's like, and I'm going back to what I said earlier in the season. He looks again like he just doesn't really understand what he's supposed to be doing in the offensive zone with the puck. I like he doesn't understand the game plan, doesn't know where he's supposed to go, he's afraid to shoot as much as he probably should, and it's frustrating to watch. I don't know. I mean, there's something to be said for just telling the kid to put your head down and shoot the fucking puck.
It's weird that at this point I'm almost like, because I still think overall a lot of his game has improved. I see him hustling back more. I see him tying up sticks in the defensive zone. I do see him doing things, being more present in the neutral zone to try and jumpstart play. I do feel like he's doing a lot of things right that he wasn't doing before. But, man, I got to say, at this point, we need your offense, kid. Like, it's almost like the Jamie Tart, right, in season, is that season 2 of Ted Lasso, where it's just like, now it's time to be an asshole. It's time to be a dick. We need you to be a dick. Take the puck, carry it up by yourself, and get a shot on goal. That's what we need from you.
With all these 2-1 games, right? We're in these tight scoring, low scoring games recently. And it's like it'd be nice to kind of pull away from these teams once in a while, and he needs to be there and be that guy sometimes.
Right. It's been, like it seems like Kyrou and Thomas, the great white hope of this team, right? They're diverging, right? They're diverging completely. Thomas is the guy that's figured it out, and Kyrou is still the guy that just can't. He can't put the whole thing together. And I think you give him one more year, right? And in this offseason, you tell him, don't take any time off, especially if the Blues don't make the playoffs, right? You do not take any time off. You work your ass off to be, and come in the best shape of your life, focused, ready to go. And if it doesn't work out next year, he's done. Right.
Phil, you made a comment, might have been last week, about him needing to go to like some kind of camp or something. Right. You mentioned Gary Roberts,
specialty coach, right?
Yeah, specialty coach. I feel like, and as crazy as it sounds, because we've seen him pull off some insane moves, I feel like he's go to a camp that focuses on fucking stick handling and receiving passes.
Right. Bring back David Perron, right? Perron was the guy that was always fiddling around and changing sticks, right? At one point, he was using, the shortest stick in the NHL, right? Bring somebody like a craftsman of, fiddling with your stick until you get it right. It seems like Kyrou is just not comfortable and pucks just hop off his stick all the time. Get a guy to say, hey, if it's not Kyrou himself, get somebody in here who can say, make these adjustments, try this adjustment, mess around with it, right? He's got to do better than he's doing now. And, it's so frustrating to see him fumble the puck every time he fucking touches it.
It's frustrating and a little embarrassing to say that your $8 million a year guy, who that's his contract now, he's in it, should be going to a hockey camp.
I know,
all
right?
season. That's sad. But
we joke about camp. I think we mean, getting a
specialist,
coach.
Special training. Yeah. Off season.
Fucking Adam Oates, right? I don't know what he's doing right now. He might be an assistant somewhere. I have no idea, but I feel like an Adam Oates type guy, just kind of a skills coach. That's the kind of guy you need to bring in, like a guy who can handle the puck, or somebody who can teach you to handle the puck, receive passes. How many times do we see him receive a pass and it just explodes off his stick? Mm-hmm. And it's just, that shouldn't happen at the NHL level.
Gordon Bombay and a dozen eggs.
Right. Yeah. That's such a...
I'll say, man, like I've got players on my team, like guys that just started skating 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Stone hands.
I've told them, like, hey, when you receive a pass, you don't just put your stick down and receive it. You got to kind of cradle it and pull it in. And I feel like, man, somebody needs to tell that to Jordan Kyrou.
Massage it. Make love to the puck on the ice. Let it come to you. Corral it. Love it. Caress it. Anyway. Oh, sorry. We still on the air?
Maybe Kurt Price should be his skills coach. I will say, you know what? I this is going to sound crazy that I remember this, but the tournament where you were on my team, I remember I sent you a lead pass that was awful. It was bad. And it was in the air, and then it like bounced on you, and it was on its end, and it was hard. It was way harder than it needed to be. And you grabbed it, you corralled it, you pulled it in, and you beat a defenseman,
stroked
it, and then you laid it flat on the ice or on the rink. And I was like, damn, that was a good pass reception. So maybe you do need to be his skills coach.
I don't remember that, but I believe you.
I remember a lot of really weird things about playing hockey, so that was one of them.
That's okay. All right. I'm happy to have given you that moment of like, hey, wow, that was cool.
Kurt, I remember every moment of you playing.
Oh, yeah, like my shootout goal. I never forget that.
Oh, I will honestly, I'll be on my deathbed and still remember that.
One of my finer moments in the Ponder Cup tournaments.
I still, to this day, when I see Lynn, I'm like, how could you be beat on a fake slap shot in a shootout?
Well, probably because I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. And I changed my mind 3 times skating in, and I was going to wind up for a slap shot. Changed my mind as I was coming down on the downswing. I probably faked myself out. If I didn't know what I was doing, how the hell he gonna know?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's something to that. What did I say? Shots on goal, 30 for the Blues, 31 for Florida. Face-offs are pretty even, 51% to 49. Florida had that one power play goal, 33% to the Blues, 0 for 4, which we talked about. Hits were 21 to 11 block for Florida. Block shots 10-8 for Florida. Giveaways we talked about 16 to 4 for the Blues. Takeaways were even at 11. So there you go. That's the rundown on the stats. And Florida had 5 unanswered goals in this game after the Blues went up 1-0 with Shen's goal in the first period, and all downhill after that.
Something to kind of still hang your hat on: the Blues have only lost 2 games when they've scored first this year.
Yeah, that's is the second
pretty
one.
impressive.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, this game, now it depends on how they play next against the Rangers. If they put together a good game against the Rangers and maybe get a win, then they're back on track. I'm not gonna use this game as the game to define this team now, like some people like to do after a bad loss, or not a bad loss, but a loss. 5-1 loss sounds bad. But it's how you rebound and don't let this turn into a losing streak, right? And you've been playing really good hockey for the most part since Spanish took over. Just get back to that, keep it going. It wasn't a bad game against Florida, but the score got away from them.
I honestly, even like the fact that they gave up 3 goals in the third period.
Yeah,
I still didn't hate the third period. I thought they played fine. It was just one. I thought Anthony Stolarz had an excellent game, and he's had
both
a great
of Kachuk's
season
goals
so far.
Were
insane.
Kachuk
was,
what are you gonna do?
Insane. And I thought the Blues still came at it. It was just Stolarz was there, and the Panthers played. They're a good defensive team. They played really well.
So, okay, before we change gears here and talk about Team USA real quick, I was given this for Christmas, and I was told that this puck was used during the Blues' first season on the ice. It's called Official Pro National. And it's got a strange looking logo that looks like a sideways house or something. And I did some research online, couldn't find anything about this except for some stuff behind a login screen. You had to register to find enough info about it, how much it went for on eBay. But I'm like, does anyone know anything about this puck? Because I'm just curious about it. Official Pro National.
Maybe I'm a bad hockey fan. I've never heard that phrase before.
Me either. But I was told that it was used during a Blues game in the first season, and it was given to me by.
You can see Bill Day's ass. Everybody watching, you can see Bill Day's ass.
Nah, the chair's in the way.
Okay, get out of the way, chair. Come on.
Does Bill have the puck? Does he have the same one?
Is that what he's doing? Oh, the suspense is killing me.
I know he went to get a puck. He went to get.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Bill? You're killing us.
So I have an old Toronto Maple Leafs. I think this is circa late 70s or early 80s. So probably too late for Kurt's puck. I just want somebody gifted this to me in high school.
Who gifted that to you?
It does not have that.
Yeah. Who gifted that to you?
Mine's just got the NHL emblem.
There's this one side, and then the other side is blank.
Yeah,
it doesn't have any NHL logos on it.
Who gifted that to you?
This was somebody in I think it was Teresa's aunt or something. She brought it to Christmas. I wasn't there, but Zoe gave it to me, my daughter.
Oh, nice.
She said, "Here, this is from Aunt Barb." She said that this was used in a Blues game, and it was given to them a long time ago. And I maybe at the game, I'm not sure. And then so they asked to, they gave it to me, and I was like, oh well, thank you.
I'm trying to think of who I know that I could ask, because as we talked about earlier, which I'm surprised Bill didn't make the joke, I did used to be in the media. There are probably people I could ask that I have emails or phone numbers to. Let me think about that.
Because every puck I've seen used at a Blues game had a Blues logo on it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
even like my dad had one from the 70s, and it had that 70s Blues logo on it.
And
Yeah,
maybe
Bill,
it
I
was,
tried searching it too.
maybe it was
That's what you're
maybe it was a puck they
Ooh.
used in warmups. I don't know, and it was flipped over the glass during warmups. I don't know. That could be the case too.
Bill says, "Ask STL Blues history." That's a really good call.
Yep.
He would know.
Yeah. So anyway, just thought I would toss out there if anybody had any of our viewers had any thoughts on that.
No idea.
Yeah, I did some research and I couldn't find anything on it really.
I had a friend who went to the game. I don't know if you saw it sitting by my side all night. I did get the Jordan Binnington bobblehead of him.
That's cool.
Riding the scooter. Yeah. I had a good friend of mine. She was telling me, she's like, "Oh yeah, we went to this game, and the whatever game it was, the Dallas. I can't remember who it was." And she's like, "Yeah, and we got the Binnington bobblehead." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I wanted that so bad." And she goes, "Oh, I brought my Nana, and she didn't even know who Binnington was." So, so she was like, "Hey, you want to give this to one of your friends? So I'll just give it to you." And I'm like, "Oh, you are the fucking coolest." So I was like, "It will be on display on the podcast."
That's nice.
Right
That's
next
awesome.
to
It's one
right
of the
next to Jeff Burton.
one of the cooler bobbleheads. I've got a big rig. Or is it right there? Pat Maroon bobblehead. It's a
You know what's so funny?
Sticking his head out of a big rig. Which is
I do
cool.
the exact same thing as you, but like
Get it
you can
backwards.
just turn your head around and point to it much
Right.
quicker. But you refuse to look away from the camera.
But you're on camera. He's professional.
I do have
That's
the
right,
Darren
that's what us
Pang.
pros do.
I do have the Darren Pang. Where is right there? The Darren Pang.
Hey, that's what they told us in when I was a thespian. You never turn your back to the audience.
Oh.
So
Fox Sports Midwest. Him as a goalie holding a microphone. Bobblehead. Amy got that for me, which is a pretty cool one.
nice.
Was not long after. Well, it was a little ways
Did
after.
that
the incident
bobblehead
was-
text you until you stopped being an asshole?
Right.
I do believe he texted me saying, "You don't think I put in the work? I put in the work." And I'm like, "That's not what I said."
I almost want you to take your bobblehead. Be, hey, is Kurt Davies an asshole? Yes.
You should craft a
just called you
Foster's
Kurt Davies.
lager.
Yeah, why'd you call me Kurt Davis?
That's my ex-brother-in-law.
Kurt Davis.
Wow.
Davies. Yeah.
That's
Sorry, Kurt Price.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kurt Davies.
All right.
Who Jeff apparently thinks you're an asshole. So
Yeah, right.
No,
Just call him.
I do not.
Yeah.
I love that man, and I miss him in my family.
So Team USA wins gold at the World Junior Championships. The reaction from the media, the talking heads of the media, the Canadian media, kind of like they're kind of pissed off, up in arms. They're like, we got to tear down the entire system and reevaluate how we put together this team every year and the players we put on it. He goes, because it's just not working anymore. Didn't they win last year? Who won last year? It was Canada, right?
I thought it was. Who did win? That's a great question.
Hey Google, who won the 2023 World Junior Hockey Championship?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Yeah.
I don't know, but here's who won. Did you hate that? I don't know, but here's who won.
Canada won.
What's that?
2022, it was Canada.
Canada in overtime of the gold medal game.
That's right.
They
That's right.
just won gold. So it's like, I don't know. Canadians are goofy.
Talk
They don't win
about
gold.
bipolar fans.
Yes.
And then 2023 Canada. Yes, they won the last 2 years.
Yeah. We got to completely reevaluate. I heard people say that. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever.
They got beat by a good team too.
Team USA was good. Yeah. They were the better team. Sometimes you just get beat, like the Blues in Florida. A good play, really good players just scored some really good goals, and they just got beat.
That was a fun final too. USA and Sweden. I unfortunately had to miss the first period. I didn't want to get called out by my company during a work meeting for watching the game. But second and third periods I watched, and
Yeah.
It was very exciting hockey.
I missed the first half of the game, but I watched the last half. Yeah, it was good. It was a good finish.
Yeah, that's I was fortunate enough to be work from home that day and was able to catch the whole thing, mostly with volume on. A couple of calls I had to take, but yeah, that was man, such a great thing to beat, to go into a hostile environment and take that game. Beautiful
Man,
effort by
there
that
is
team.
something about daytime hockey while I'm working that there is nothing that beats it. Like
Remember
when I look at the schedule and I
bubble?
say
The bubble,
the
yeah.
bubble. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The bubble.
We're all
Like,
working from home.
There was nothing that beat it. And that was when I set this TV up that's right here during the bubble. Because I was like,
yeah,
dude, there's going to be games on during the day while I'm working. I'm going to have hockey on 24/7. And so that's what I did. And like, dude, there's nothing that beats it. Like when the World Junior Championships come on and I'm, and I go back to work in January 2nd, 3rd, whatever, I'm always like, hell yeah, I get to watch hockey for a week while I'm working.
The Blues came away from this tournament smelling like a rose. They had a number of players who performed very well, put up a lot of points. So it was a good look for the Blues in this series, in this tournament. So hopefully the future looks bright. And I know Armstrong, a lot of people are like, well, we can't wait to see a lot of these players in a Blues uniform, which, yeah, maybe it comes to that. But also Armstrong likes to remind people often, actually, that these players are assets. So if they come up and play and contribute in a positive way, great. He goes, but also we can use these players to trade and acquire pieces that we need as well. So some of these guys will not be with the Blues. They may be traded for pieces we need. So keep that in mind.
But his talk around Snuggerud, I told Julie last night, we will be going to a game in the next 5 years where we get a Snuggie as a giveaway.
Yes,
right? It's gonna happen. Right?
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
I think Snuggerud will play here. It's gonna take a lot to pry him away from the Blues.
Right.
But yeah.
He'll play way more games than Bolduc, right?
He will.
Yeah.
He will.
But the way Armstrong's
he'll play for the
talking-
Blues before Bolduc does too.
Yeah, no, the way Armstrong's talking, that's going to happen. He wants him here this year.
Yep.
So
after the college
yeah,
season's over, yeah.
Yeah, when Minnesota gets bounced,
and if the Blues make the playoffs,
yeah,
he'll be here.
Yeah, shoot the damn puck.
I know.
Yeah,
shoot
dude.
the damn puck.
I am excited for him. I will say, it's rare that I let myself get excited about a prospect. Man, I'm trying to think who the last one was. Probably
Peter
Tarasenko.
Sena.
No, not Peter Sena. It was probably Tarasenko. And it's rare because I tell myself, like, you don't know, this kid could either get injured or just will not translate to the NHL game. Snuggerud's one that I'm looking at because I've seen him play enough that I'm like, holy
8
shit,
hours?
this kid, at least 8 hours.
8 hours of tape you watched?
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
It's right next to his Eric Foley VHS.
Yes, Eric Foley. That was the last one I was excited about, was Eric Foley. No,
who's the guy we lost in the guy that when we traded for Falk? It was Edmondson and a pick.
Oh,
and they,
Dominic Bach.
Dominic
and
Bach.
There were certain individuals online that were super pissed that Bach went to, and they were mad. It was Edmondson and Bach. It wasn't the pick, right? That was the prospect.
Edmondson and Bach.
Edmondson,
I believe.
yes. And they were super pissed. And Bach's gonna be a star.
And
he's
working at the
He
Munich
will
Starbucks
never even
now.
play in the NHL.
No, he did not develop into what they thought he might be. So, oops.
Yep. Oh God, God damn it, Adam Gold, winning Unlimited. I was excited about Aaron Palujai. I thought this kid's gonna be a good power forward, like not gonna be like a 50 goal scorer, but I thought, good, like bottom six guy that'll play on your power play, deflect pucks in. He was a big kid.
An
I
Aaron
did like him.
Asham type.
Yes,
Tomasz Holstrom
Asham
type.
Do you remember who they traded him for? Here's a fun little trivia question.
Oof. No, I don't.
They did acquire a player that played for the Blues and was a pretty big deal for at least a year.
I have no idea.
Hold on. He was traded to the Canadiens, wasn't he?
Yes.
All right. So it
Mike Keane.
No,
Nope.
it was Halak, wasn't it?
Oh.
Nope.
Ooh.
No, sir.
Mike Keane was
War
from
number
Dallas.
36.
We got Mike Keane from Dallas anyway, I think.
36.
He had an apostrophe in his name.
D'Agostini.
Yeah.
Matt D'Agostini.
Yeah.
That is correct.
I liked him. I liked D'Agostini.
Yeah.
I did too.
He reminded me of a young Tito Landrum. Mike Shannon.
Always good.
Mike Shannon.
Mike Shannon, Tito Landrum reference.
Okay. Woo. Folks, take a ride on that one, big boy. Susie Mathieu is to receive the True Blue Award at the Blues Hall of Fame induction. She's the first ever recipient of this award. I was wondering if she was going to get something because of how like Brett Hull raved about her. That's how
she was.
Right.
She was like it. People that did not play for the Blues and did not hold like GM or coach or anything like that. She's one of the most recognizable names in Blues history.
For sure.
And I think a lot of it has to do with Brett Hull. Just constantly talking. He talked about her a lot.
Yeah.
She was vice president of marketing and public relations for the Blues for 20 years, from 75 to 95. Originally hired by the Solomon family, Mathieu holds the proud distinction of being the first woman ever hired as a public relations director of any professional team. She oversaw many departments such as marketing, public relations, media relations, community relations, and player relations. Back in the day when the organization had like 8 employees, right? That did everything. After her Blues career,
the Ornest days.
Yeah, the Ornest days, right? The carpetbagger. He was called a carpetbagger. I think Bruce Affleck called Harry Ornest a carpetbagger.
Yes.
After her Blues career, Mathieu worked for the NHL and NHL Players Association, assisting with the World Cup of Hockey and consulting on the NHL's involvement in the Winter Olympics. So she's had a fun hockey-filled career. And congratulations to her.
Shameless plug. I believe if you go on YouTube right now and type in Susie Mathieu, my video is the first that comes up. There was a really back when intermissions were fun to watch in hockey. There was a really awesome piece done on her, and like
yours does come up.
Yep, it was like the 95 season, and they basically like interviewed players, and they talked to her about just what her job is, and it was a really well done piece, and I wanted to make sure to highlight that because again, like you said, Kurt, Brett Hull, but he's not the only one I've heard.
Yeah.
Brett Hull and then a bunch of other players have talked about the impact she had on not just the Blues, but hockey in general, women working in hockey. I mean, she really is a trailblazer.
Trailblazer, yeah. I would say groundbreaker.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah. And I like you said, Kurt, I was kind of waiting for something like this. I'm like, I don't know if she'll be like inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame, but I'm like, she'll at least be like an honorable mention or something at some point. I'm glad it's already now.
She should get something on the ice before a game.
Yeah.
So,
well, if they ever like drop a puck, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the Hall of Fame induction game, which game coming up?
Friday, January 19th. 8 p.m.
So a week from.
It's going to take place at the MAC though, the Missouri Athletic Club.
That's at the MAC.
Yes.
When's the Hall of Fame game?
It should be the game after that. So that would be
because
that'll be when Dimitra and Kachuk and all them are on it. Actually, it's the 20th. They'll play the Capitals Saturday night.
Do you know what
so
the third link? Night. The third link on YouTube that comes up when you search for Susie Mathieu?
Huh.
This show tonight, the live show. So apparently there's nothing about Susie Mathieu on YouTube at all, except for what you have and now this show, because I guess it's in the show notes, right, on YouTube. So it came up.
Well, you're welcome, Susie Mathieu.
So yeah, congratulations to her for that. Well deserved. Next up for the Blues, Thursday versus the Rangers, 7 p.m. Jeff's going to be there, huh? You going to this game?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, it's funny. My nephew, who's 16, he has never, ever been into sports. And I guess recently his friends have started getting into sports. So he asked me, he's like, hey, I want to get into sports because I don't know anything about it. He's like, can you teach me some stuff? And I'm like, well, what sport do you want to learn about? And he's like, well, clearly you know most about hockey. I was like, do you want to go to a Blues game? And he's like, yeah. So for Christmas, this is what I got him. So I'm taking him tomorrow night to the Blues game. So I was joking. And if you're watching, Aiden, I am excited to go with you. But I do think it's funny because it'll probably be full of, why'd they blow the whistle? Well, what are they calling a penalty for? Well, what happened there?
Why? What happened to the fourth quarter?
Yeah, right. Is there more game left?
This is it. Why?
There'll probably be a lot of weird questions like that. But you know what?
Periods. That's weird.
Educating young kids about hockey, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
The Rangers are currently 5th in the NHL. They're leading their division. They have 54 points. They are 26-11-2, 4 points behind the Winnipeg Jets for first overall in the NHL. I guess I wasn't paying attention to the overall standings, but I wasn't aware the Jets were first overall in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Did not.
Jets and Vancouver, right?
Their Jets are 1 point ahead of Vancouver right now, with one game in hand too. So.
Yeah.
I saw a funny meme that had, we're sorry to inform you, Mr. Bettman, that there are 2 Canadian teams at the top of the standings. And there's a picture of him with like the world's biggest frown.
Although with Colorado's win tonight, I don't know if this is reflected with their win. It might be. They may have 59 points, so they may have jumped ahead of everybody and have 59 points. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if this is including that or not. Is that game over? I guess it is.
It is 3-0 final.
So it's probably updated. So Colorado is within 1 point of that.
Fuck you, Colorado.
Fuck you. They play the Bruins on Saturday, which should be. It's always fun playing the Bruins. You know, fuck you, Boston, bunch of bitches.
Still, my favorite giveaway was that 2 years ago, where they gave away the replica Stanley Cup ring against the Bruins.
Yep. Yeah. As long as you don't hold yours up, I'll hold mine up. Bonk. There we go.
Yeah, baby. I got him. I got my one that like actual ring, and then that replica giveaway. I got them both looking at me every single day when I work.
Love it.
Sitting right in front of me.
And then Monday versus Philadelphia, which should be interesting with all the news surrounding Kevin Hayes. Fuck you, Philly, bunch of bitches.
I almost wish that game was in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know, like it would be fun to hear the reaction, the fan. Yeah. I feel like actually at this point, I feel like he might actually get cheered just because they are looking awful after what happened.
Hayes is going to score in this game. You guaranteed he's going to score in this game.
Oh, 100%. You think he does a little point up for his brother? You think he
does every time he scores?
Like something like this?
Let's do it.
Because he got a lot of hate and received a lot of nasty shit about his brother Jimmy.
I didn't see you added the stuff to the rapid fire tidbits. I did see this though. The Bennington uses Justin Bieber to get NHL All-Star votes. So yeah, the bet still stands. Justin Bieber. So yeah, he's wants to do the shootout with Justin Bieber. Have him come in and take shots on him. And,
dude, even if he doesn't make the All-Star game, it's a fucking sideshow.
Do it anyway.
Let that be a part of the skills competition. Sure. Come on.
Sure.
Or
who cares?
Do it during intermission of the All-Star game. Who cares?
And didn't Bieber bring it up initially, like a few years ago when this was a thing? He brought it up initially.
I don't think so. Wasn't it that he posted a video of him playing hockey and Bennington made the comment like, bring it against me sometime, kid? Something like that?
don't know. I thought Bieber, like, well, maybe you're right, but it didn't happen. It should have. I don't know why it didn't happen. The NHL could have made that happen.
I partially blame COVID because that was the year
Yeah.
after the Blues won the cup.
Yeah. I hope it happens. It'd be fun. Why not? Hell. It'd be better than anything else they got in the skills competition.
Why the fuck not? Like, you would get so many people tuning in for that.
Bieber can play.
Bieber, I really feel like if you called Bieber and you said, "Hey, you want to come to the All-Star game and take a 5 shots against Bennington?" He'd be like, "Fuck yeah, you don't have to pay me. I'll be there." That sounds awesome.
He's a hockey player. He can play. So he got chucked into the boards by Pronger, which is one of the best pictures ever.
Yes.
I mean, that picture to me is like, that photographer, granted, it wasn't quite really clear, but it was good enough. That's like the guy that got the Bobby Orr flying through the air picture. It's like, man, some of these photographers, they're right place, right time, snapping that picture. And he got Pronger smiling close up with Bieber's face crushed against the glass. It's just so great.
Yep.
That means everything.
Yeah, so it's on Twitter. If you follow Jordan Bennington, it's on Twitter. He wants people to interact with that and basically, I guess, get him some votes for the All-Star game so this happens or whatever.
I do wonder, especially, you think if Bieber retweets, well, I guess it wasn't a tweet. Was it a tweet?
It was a tweet. It was a tweet, yeah.
So you think if Bieber retweets that, I mean, all of a sudden you got to think Bennington's numbers are skyrocketing because people who aren't hockey fans will jump on there and do it.
Sure. If Bieber retweets it, the NHL should make it happen.
Oh,
both people want to do it. Do it. Medical update. My dog just shook and hit something. What the hell was that? Connor Bedard had his jaw broken, fractured, if you weren't aware, and he had successful surgery to repair his fractured jaw. He's out of the lineup approximately 6 to 8 weeks, per the Chicago Blackhawks Twitter. So
immediately after becoming the youngest ever named All-Star, breaks his jaw, gonna miss the competition.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Hate to see it happen.
Hate to see it. That's a shame.
My question is, with him being the lone All-Star from Chicago, because no one else is going to vote in anyone else, they're going to have to replace it for someone from Chicago. Who the fuck is going to go?
Just bring Corey Perry back. Bring Corey Perry.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. Corey Perry, because apparently they announced today he is eligible to be signed by another team. Why not send him to the All-Star game to be the Blackhawks representative?
You know what? That would be... that he would represent the Blackhawks well at the All-Star game.
It's going to wind up being Foligno because he's like the only other name on that team at this point.
Let me look at the stats because I am interested now. I mean, they got that one guy. He's like named after a vegetable. Radish. Is that his name?
Yes.
Tyler Radish.
I was like, what? I was thinking green bean? What?
It's funny where my mind goes. Oh, man, he is not having a good season. Okay.
No.
Philip Kurashev, 34 games. He's their second leading scorer. 34 games, 23 points, 8 goals. Jason Dickinson. Nick Foligno's there, I guess. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they got Bolivier, too. But, man, he's not having a good year either.
No. I watched
you can't send
their
a
game
goalie
Sunday. Yeah. And Mrazek's not good enough to make it anyway.
No.
And
Arvid Soderblom.
Yeah.
Look at those
I was
numbers.
gonna say Carl Lidblom. It's Carl Lipbob. No, Arvid Soderblom. Yeah, he is.
Nice.
He is like the worst goalie in the league at this point.
Oh my God, his numbers are hilarious.
Can you send Seth Jones to like -5?
He's injured.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's injured right now. Yeah. 2-13-1 for Soderblom. 4.01 GAA, 875 save percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That save percentage has improved. The last time I looked at it, it was 871.
That's Jason Boccaccio numbers right there.
It's pretty awful. They're better going off with Scott Foster. Call him from his accounting job.
Do you know who is on their roster? And I had no idea. Former Blue Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, they just plucked him off of waivers. Zach Sanford.
Oh my gosh!
I had no idea.
I knew. Yeah. He's played 2 games for them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they are after the injury. They're like, press the shuffle button.
Oh my God! Just Jared Tenorti is still playing in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Dickinson, 14 goals. Send him.
Yeah, he's probably the right guy to go.
Plus
I watched.
How are they not the team that went 0-11 to start the year?
Right, because they have Bedard.
They're bad.
Yes.
Yeah,
they're comically bad.
Yeah,
and they've been bad for a few years now. This is not anything that's recent. So they're gonna be bad for a few more. This is gonna be
I mean, they have injuries, right? Taylor Hall.
Yeah, that's true.
He's injured. Tyler Johnson, I think he's injured. Seth Jones, but I mean, they were never going to be good because of their goaltending.
I think I'm with you, Bill. I think the only person you can send, even though he's fourth in points, is Nick Foligno, just because that's the only guy anybody will know.
Well, yeah,
maybe you send
I think
you send
the guy with 14 goal guy. You send Dickinson.
Yeah Dickinson could probably he probably the one time in his career he gets it, but
laughable how bad they are.
Yeah, I watched. For who did they play Sunday? I watched that game. I was working in the afternoon on Sunday, threw that on, and they won. Who's it? Connor Blackwood, fourth line plug, had 2 beautiful goals, and it's like whoever gets him on their age, Colin Blackwell, that's something like that, right? Blackwood, there's a goalie, right? Yeah. Anyway, he was
Mackenzie Blackwood.
Yeah, he looked really good in the game, but it was not a good game all around.
Hey, good for him. 7th round pick in 2011.
Yeah, out of Harvard.
He's made the NHL. Yeah. From North Andover, Massachusetts. As my mom calls it, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, my mom always says Massachusetts. And I'm like, that's not right, Mom. She also says schnooks. She says it as snooks.
You know what my mom says? My mom says, play it against Sam's.
Yes. My dad always said that.
Yeah.
It was like that. It's just play it again, man.
Play it against sports. Play it against sports.
You get a used baseball glove and a piano.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think Austin.
Real quick. 37. Again, my goalie in ice hockey. Don't give those goalies so much trouble. They basically play for the Force, which is that's our ice team name. And we are having a rough year. So I hear you, buddy.
Austin, I think, did Austin put this in here in the closing notes? Bill calls for St. Louis style Proville cheese to be the official cheese of Missouri. Did he put that in there?
I didn't put that.
I didn't put it in
there. Yeah, that had to have been him. And all of the good mojo that he built up is now gone.
Boy, but you know how pissed off Kansas City would be if Proville cheese were the official cheese of Missouri because it's a St. Louis thing.
And the official football team is the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Oh, yeah, which is the UFL now. The XFL is gone. The USFL and the XFL have merged into the UFL. So
I'm actually very happy with that. I think dropping the XFL because of the craziness that happened in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it did have a illegitimate connotation to it with the XFL with the goofiness that happened in the past.
He hate me.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yep. So we have a new live listener. Apparently, it's Mother Nature listening because it's
Trees.
Trees. They say, I say she.
Because she said Mother Nature.
Yeah. She says, send Brett Hall in the same makeup they use for the protagonist of Dear Evan Hansen. No one will notice. I've never seen that, so I imagine that's. You guys ever seen that? We're old, right? We never saw that.
No. But speaking of Brett Hull and movies, I'm looking forward to the Solani Hull movie coming out.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that'll be a blast.
Tree says it's he, so it's Father Nature.
Okay. All right. Well, we need to hear from Bushes on this to make sure that everything's on the up and up with those comments.
Bushes has got to be a woman, right?
Bushes. Trees and bushes. Yeah. On that note, I mean, you just crack yourself up.
I do. I really do.
We're not coming back from that one.
Are you a fan of Provel cheese, Bill?
Good night, folks. I'm out of here.
Do you like Provel cheese? Do you are you a fan of the St. Louis style pizza?
Hell yeah! I love me some Cecil's.
What about you, Bill?
Why did I say Cecil's? No, Emos. I'm sorry.
I like Cecil's. You don't like Provel?
I like Cecil's, but I like Emos way more.
I like them both. I like Cecil's. I like Emos. Cecil's is better because they're cheaper. But I was a Fortell's guy when Fortell's was in Fairview Heights.
Oh yeah,
Fortell's is awesome.
Yeah,
Fortell's for me was nostalgic because we had a ice hockey rink that we would always go practice at when I was like 12 or 13, and then afterward, every Saturday, the coaches would be like, "All right, everybody, have a good day. See you later." We'll be like, "We should go to Fortell's." They'd be like, "Okay," and we go to Fortell's every day after practice.
Yeah. I'm getting some Emos tomorrow. I got Emos in Troy. I'm getting the Emos tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's a good call.
No,
Emos is one of those pizzas you can just keep eating. It's like you don't get full on Emos.
No.
Yeah, see that my family's huge. My
fat or very large family.
Very large family. Mostly not fat. Beer guts big time. But not excessive. But they're huge on Emos and not Cecil's but Alicia's. Very specific South City thing.
Yeah.
Right. I cannot. I've never been able to fully get on board with Emos. I've burned the roof of my mouth way too many times. It's like napalm.
You gotta slow down. You gotta wait.
No,
patient with the pizza.
No,
Patience.
it's like napalm that rips the roof of your mouth.
Provel does stick to your mouth. So if it's boiling hot,
it's plastic.
So I've got something that I do.
It's
with
cheddar and mozz and what is it? Provolone and cheddar and
American cheese processed together.
Is that just it? Is it provolone and cheddar? Is that the two combined? Or is it three?
Provolone, yeah, I think that's right.
Provolone and cheddar.
Yeah. No, I've got something that I do with all pizza delivery. I let them, deliver it, bring it in. Well, I bring it in. They don't bring it in. I don't tell them bring it in and put it on my kitchen table. But I bring it into the kitchen table. I set it down, and then I go back in and sit and watch TV or whatever for 8 minutes. I know I'm weird, but that is usually enough time to where it is the perfect temperature. Perfect. And that way you're not burning the roof of your mouth and it's not too cold. It's perfect.
Cheddar, Swiss, and provolone.
Cheddar, Swiss.
Okay.
I thought there was a third cheese in there.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm a fan. I like it. It's not, it's in every pizza place is different. It's a nice change of pace every once in a while. I don't get it all the time. It's too expensive. Emos is. I don't know why it's so expensive.
It is. Well, if you become a member, you do get discounts. Randomly.
A member.
Yeah, you gotta sign up for their rewards program.
Oh, I think I am.
Yeah. Every now and then they'll shoot you an email that says buy a pizza in the next 24 hours and it's $10 off or whatever. So it's nice.
I can't say anything good, so we're not getting them as a sponsor.
Yeah, right. Maybe they'll sponsor Kurt and I, just in our live.
Yeah, 2/3 of the show. 2/3.
Trees adds also sweet. First time live listening, and I get readout. You say live listening. That tells me you've listened before podcasting. And hey, good for you. Jump on the show late. Not a lot of people are commenting because they're all wanting to go to sleep, telling us to shut up. That's how you get it.
All right. I think we're ready to shut her down. Earl.
What other option do we have?
None. Unless Ponder's got one more thing.
No, don't tempt him. Don't tempt him.
I'm like literally like my mind is racing a mile a minute. Like think of something. I got
That's
nothing.
a no. Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Rockin' That Idea Life. You can contact. This is
you can do
poorly.
something.
You can receive 10% off by emailing Dustin at rockandthatidealife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. And by Realtor Mike Burgoyne. Give Mike a call today at 314-753-4060. For all of your home buying and selling needs, that's 314-753-4060. That will wrap up episode 14 of season 13 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder, Bill Day, and Austin Lynch, who was killing it tonight.
Star of the show.
Yeah.
Star of the game. He gets first star.
He's first star. I'm Kurt Price. Until next time, everyone. Fuck you, Boston. Let's go Blues.
Fuck you, Philly. Let's go Blues.
Well, I guess I got to say, fuck you, Rangers and New York. Let's go Blues.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
You thought I was going to say, son of a bitch, didn't you?